Welcome to the Next Dimension Podcast, your portal to an extended reality. Every week we talk about the hottest topics in XR and let you join the discussion live on MRTV. And now, get ready for another exciting episode coming up.
Hi and welcome to Season 2, Episode 13 of the Next Dimension Podcast, your podcast that is all about VR and AR. And I'm so looking forward to this episode. And one reason is that Anthony's back. Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What is going on?
Really looking forward to catch up with you and find out everything that happened and what you think about all these exciting topics. Also with us today, Tetiana from Disco VR. Tetiana, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. It's been really busy, so I'm so excited to be here tonight because we have so much to talk about.
Oh, yes. We have so many exciting topics. And when we talked before the show, we didn't even know where to start. So it's going to be really interesting. And also here with us, Steve, VR flight sim guy. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm just a bit concerned, Sebastian, with the chat doesn't seem to be working.
I also don't know.
Chat.
I have no idea what's the matter. Are we online right now on YouTube? Can anybody confirm
I presume
that?
so. I think we are.
I believe.
I hope
video.
so. Yeah, I also don't see the chat here in Restream. Probably there's a problem with it. Anyways, probably we can simply open our phones and check out the chat there. So, yeah, hopefully this can work. Hopefully we are live right now.
Definitely live.
We
Just the chat
definitely
isn't
are.
working
Yeah?
at the moment.
Okay. Is the chat working on YouTube then? Can people say something there? Yeah. Anyways,
Oh.
we're going to find
Really
out.
see.
We're going to find out what is going on here with YouTube and so on and so forth. Anyways, we're still going to follow through with our show, of course. And yeah, my name is Sebastian Ang. I am the founder of MRTV and I'm the host of the Next Dimension Podcast. For all of you who don't know this podcast yet, this podcast, as I mentioned, is all about VR and AR. And we are live every Saturday at 9 p.m. Berlin, 8 p.m. in London, noon in San Francisco, and 3 p.m. in New York City. And you can listen to us also, because this is also an audio podcast, and you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Alexa, and anywhere where you can find good podcasts. And if you enjoy this show, then we would be very glad and happy if you could simply give us a review. Then more people can find this podcast. So simply open the podcast app on your iDevice, find the Next Dimension Podcast right now. That would be amazing. And give us a 5-star review if you enjoy our show. Yep, so today's show, we have two big topics, two big events happened last week. One was the Pimax event, and I'm still a bit in shock about what they showed us there. It seemed like unbelievable, the device that they showed us, the Pimax 12k QLED, like the device of every VR enthusiast's dreams. And we are going to dig deep into that, and we're going to talk about it and find out what our thoughts are and if we believe they can actually make it happen. They want to come out with this next year in Q4. Then, of course, obviously, we're going to talk about Facebook Connect. And, well, probably this was the last Facebook Connect ever. Probably next year is going to be called Meta Connect. Who knows? We're going to find out next year. So lots of things, obviously, to talk about for Facebook Connect. The name change, Oculus is dead. The Oculus brand is dead, which was kind of surprising, probably for some, probably for some not. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about the whole metaverse thing. It seems like this is a big thing now, this whole metaverse. I know Anthony has opinions that he wants to let us know about. And, well, yeah, Project Cambria, the Quest Pro, forced Facebook login, not there anymore. Lots of exciting things to talk about. And of course, Grand Theft Auto, made for VR. Woo! This is going to be exciting. This is going to be really exciting. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. the chat function is disabled on YouTube, says Lost in VR. Like in general or what? It's so strange. That is absolutely strange. I don't know. I'm going to.
Maybe you can go into your YouTube settings.
I will check it exactly. I will do it when you guys talk about your week. I will secretly check it and find out what to do. Yeah. So let's start with Anthony. Anthony, how are you doing? Tell us about what you had been doing in VR. Did you do anything in VR? Just we would like to catch up with you. How are you doing?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a weird reality for me over the last like 4, 5, 6 months, possibly. Just a very strange time in my life. And I've kind of like for a while, I fell out of VR and just kind of, it was almost like I just walked away from VR and I stopped paying attention to all the daily news and all that. I kind of have done what a lot of YouTubers probably dream about doing, which is to just walk away from their whole YouTube thing, because the freedom of like not having to prepare for this or that, or I got to try this game, I got to do that game. And then I was also working on like VR 365 and stuff. And I've kind of, I stopped doing anything with that. And I just basically like fell off the face of the earth as far as VR is concerned for a number of months. And I kind of got to see things from the outside, which I think is probably kind of good in a way. And more recently, I've gotten back into VR and I've been firing up my Quest. You want to talk about like what's new in my VR world? Well, I sold my Oculus CV1 finally. So I've moved to a new place and I had 4 different Oculus CV1 sensors, and I never bothered to like, oh, I'm going to hook up this sensor over here and this sensor over there. And like, I wasn't even playing PC VR this entire time that I've been living here for a couple of months, played no PC VR whatsoever. But I sold my CV1 and I'm like, let me use my Quest 2 with AirLink. Never tried that out. I finally tried that out. I was playing Boneworks and stuff, and it works pretty damn good. I mean, everything is kind of like filtered through a Vaseline haze a little bit, and that's probably something to do with my streaming scenario, but it works okay. And I'm trying to get back into VR, and hey, there is a hell of a lot going on in the VR world. There's a lot more excitement now. And so I think things are getting a lot better. I don't know if I'm going to be like fully back as Mr. VR guy, but I'm starting to like dip my toes in these VR waters once again.
Great. Yeah, great to have you back. Great to have you back. Okay, try people on the interwebs, try now to comment on YouTube. It should work now. For some reason, this stream was set as for kids. So nobody could comment. So now you can comment again?
Yeah, looks like it works.
Okay, great.
I can see the chat now. So
Perfect.
let me see.
So people who are watching right now, you can yes. Great.
Yay! Hey,
Woo, we are back. Hello there. Hello world. It's good to get the communication flowing again.
It's
yes.
weird. Without the chat, I felt like it was on our own for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just makes me realize how important it is for you guys to comment.
Yeah. Good. Great, Anthony. Great to have you back. And obviously, we're so glad to have you back on the show. And if you have more time again on Saturdays at noon in California, you're very welcome to join us, obviously.
Yeah, every time there's a giant game-breaking, industry-changing news, I'm going to jump on the show. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting how you said. Oh, I'm sorry, Sebastian.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just so excited to kind of jump in when Anthony said that a lot of YouTubers are dreaming about stepping away from their channel into the freedom. And I don't know how you feel about it, guys. I don't know if I would want to like step away, but I definitely wish that I got back to the state where I only play VR when I actually want to play
Right.
or only the games I want. I love trying these different games, but this sense of obligation sometimes ruins it for me. And I think that it's nice, and I think that it should be normalized to get these detox weeks for YouTubers where they just, have a break, just do whatever they want. If it's VR, cool. If it's not, it's also fine. So I think it's really great that you got to do that, Anthony, and we are obviously very happy to have you back.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with what Tetiana said. But like for me, like I really don't follow all of like every single topic that I should probably do in order to pick up more subscribers. But I simply cannot just do everything that is now like the hype. I know like there's some topics that all the VR YouTubers jump on it, right? And everybody has to make a video at that time. So for me, I see it more relaxed now. So I really take the things that I love and that I'm excited about, and then I'll make a video about it. For me,
Yeah.
that's more
Can't
relaxed.
keep up. Can't
For the
keep up
past
with
2
everything.
days.
No, you can't.
For
Exactly.
the past 2 days, I've just done nothing but flying in VR with no recording at all.
Oh yeah, that's
Because for
good.
me,
That's
it's so
nice.
important to hold on to that passion. Because if I lose that passion, people are going to notice it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's
Same
important
for
not to
me.
burn out. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, cool. Anthony, who do you select now to talk about the week from us three? You can select one.
How about Tetiana? Because I haven't seen her in a while. I've accidentally tuned into some of your guys' shows.
Why only
and
accidentally?
Well, just because I was out of VR and like I was going onto YouTube for something else, and I saw Next Dimension podcast live in action. I saw the one with Mateo and Gary.
That was a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Mateo did a great job. Much love to Mateo out there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Tetiana, tell us about your last weeks.
Oh, wow. So much has been going on in the VR scene, especially compared to like really, emptiness and void of VR during the summer and September. It's all compensating, and I'm really feeling overwhelmed with everything that I feel like I need to do and I need to be covering. Back to the, this idea that YouTubers are supposed to cover everything and be on top of everything VR related. So I did try to do something that's just for, the enjoyment and the euphoria of being in VR, so that it doesn't turn into something that you have to do, right? We all started our channels because we're passionate about it, not because we needed a job or something.
Right.
It all stems from passion. So I tried a few games that, I will still talk about them on my channel, but they might not be like the mainstream games. Like, for example, I did not actually cover Resident Evil 4. I'm probably one of the very few YouTubers who didn't.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, here's the thing. It probably would bring so many views and hype because this is a scary game. This is a AAA title, and people want to see what it's like.
People know the name.
They probably want to see me scream when I play it because it's scary. But I know it's good. As the genre of the game is great. I watched my brother play it. I haven't actually played it myself, but I know that when I make that video, I will just be making that for a video. I don't think that I would be doing it for my own pleasure and enjoyment because I'm not into that genre. And I don't want to go into the path of making videos that I know I'm only doing them because this is the hype and this is what people do and this is what's going to bring views, and maybe that would be a smart move for the channel. But every time I would like find myself like, I need to record this, I need to play this, I felt stressed out. And like this sense of obligation. And I'm like, maybe I can, maybe I'll do it later, maybe not right now. There's so much going on besides Resident Evil in my life and not just in YouTube, and why would I do it if that would be fake excitement about it, I guess, because in reality, I feel overwhelmed and not really feeling like I want to play the title, if that makes any sense.
That makes 100% sense. And I really, I think that's a good point of view. Like you could have made the 20th, Resident Evil is awesome video. Yeah, okay. But it's, it's boring, in my opinion, in my personal opinion.
I could make like 4 or 5 videos of them. I mean, like people put like full game throughs because they know that they're going to be watched. And again, it's probably a very smart move for the channel because it's
You're right. That would be good.
Now.
You're right. For the channel, it might be good. But probably, I mean, you want to do this on the long run, right? So
it's.
I mean,
sometimes
I don't know.
For the channel, you got no. Here's what you need to do, Tetiana. You
Just
play
talk about
Resident.
Play
Resident Evil 4 in a haunted house tomorrow night.
Yes.
And film it, stream it live.
Alone.
I like it.
I like it. Exactly. To do something special, right? I like it.
That
Yeah,
won't
that's
be
a good idea.
stressful at all. Yes,
No,
I
no, not
won't
at
have
all.
to call ambulance afterwards at all. But still,
Right.
I will play it, but when the time is right for me. Like right now is just not the right time, probably.
I like
Um,
it. But I
I
heard it's
did
awesome.
play. Yeah, well,
Like for real. Like I heard it's really awesome.
yeah, and
Yeah, really.
it's.
Like,
I'm
uh,
sure that it's true.
yeah, really. I totally agree. Yeah.
I didn't jump on that hype train. And I'm totally okay with that because there's just way too many things going on, and some battles you win, some battles you lose. So it's okay. I did try a couple of other like maybe smaller titles just because I felt like I needed a little bit of VR for my own health. And I've been trying like more workout apps. So I tried Supernatural before. I tried FitXR finally.
Oh, okay, good.
And those are, I mean, subscription-based games are never our favorite. And so I was super excited that actually a new workout app, VR app, has just been released. That is a pretty solid competitor for just a one-time fee. And the
What's the
game is
name?
called Power Beats VR. I think it's on
Ah,
App Labs and SideQuest for now. I think that they have all it takes to actually end up being on the main store. And what I love about this game, again, I already have like, I will make a video about it, but I'm going to hype it up just a little bit here because I'm super excited about it. In with Power Beats VR, it actually has this AI engine that helps it. Like you can upload your songs in the game,
that's great.
and it has this AI engine that maps the song to the songs because it can detect the beats per second
Perfect.
and generate the maps that are pretty good. You
like
have
it.
a lot of control over the maps, like the difficulty, the squats, how many like times you punch, and like the obstacles. So just the level of customization is pretty insane in that game. And like there's a lot of other different things, but I was really like aching after working out in that, and it just cost I think $20. And that's it. And you don't have to pay a monthly fee of $10 or $15 or $20, and you get this amazing workout that you can create your own playlists. I think that's fantastic, and that's maybe what we needed in the VR workout scene. So I'm really looking forward to talking more about it, on my channel a little bit later on.
Cool.
So yeah, I think I'll stop here. There's so much to talk about. Of course, followed all the news. It's been so overwhelming with all the headsets, and then the
Right.
Facebook event yesterday. So yeah, it's just busy with all of that. But happy to be here to discuss all of
Great,
these
great,
news.
great to have you. And Naughty, YouTube just says it's part of Viveport Infinity. Exactly. Powerbeats VR. So if you have Viveport Infinity, you can actually play it. And I was thinking like, hey, I played that game on Viveport, and yes, I did. That's cool. Yeah, great. Okay.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I absolutely liked it. It was good. And for the songs, you don't get like on YouTube, you don't get the strike for the songs, so you can just play it and make videos of it. It's cool. Okay, cool. Tetiana, who's next? Is it VR Flight Sim Guy or is it me?
It's going to be you, Sebastian.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I was in Paris. That was really great. So obviously, last week you saw me there with Gary, and we did the podcast live from the Lynx offices, where we had just checked out the Lynx mixed reality headset. And well, you can find out all about it on my channel. You can listen to the last week's episode. It was really interesting. It was exciting. It was so cool to meet Gary there in person. Here, Gary from Immersed Robots and from this podcast. So always fantastic to meet people in reality again, right? We have just seen each other on the screen for such a long time. So it was so good to meet at such a cool location with Gary in real and have a real beer, have overpriced alcohol at the Champs-Élysées in Paris. It was great. It was fantastic. And then also like checking out the Lynx and getting this here as a souvenir. The lens, the crazy lens, that was so good. That was really good. And I was pleasantly surprised by the headset itself as well. It works as advertised. mixed reality is incredible. It's so nice to see your surrounding through this color pass-through, and then to have some virtual things embedded into your reality. Yeah, basically the same thing that also the project Cambria is going to do next year from Facebook, but now already. So that was so cool, and simply great again to go out and meet someone. Yeah, meet someone in reality and just go to a cool city like Paris. Fantastic. So that was really, really good. Then I did a video about the Pimax event, and obviously we're going to talk about this in a moment. I simply wanted to summarize everything that was happening in that, I think, 1 hour long stream from Pimax, and then my summary was like 1.5 hours, so longer than the original thing. And but the great thing was, so I summarized the whole thing probably in half an hour. But then Kevin Henderson, the COO of Pimax, was in the chat, and I just asked him, "Hey, Kevin, would you like to come on for an interview?" And I simply sent him that link here for Restream to join. And he came onto the show, which was so cool. This was really, really cool. Completely spontaneous, completely unplanned. And then we talked 1 hour about the Pimax 12k QLED. And it was so interesting because we all had so many questions about the device, right? We were all like completely awestruck by this device, since it's basically the device that every VR enthusiast is dreaming about. And we had so many questions, and then directly I could ask those questions to Kevin, and that was incredible. That was really, really cool. Other than that, I did work behind the scenes, and I can tell you, I am now at the moment checking out the HTC Vive Flow. I have it already at the MRTV headquarters, so I'm checking it out right now in order to make a review for it. It's like embargoed until the 2nd of November. So checking out right now. Cannot publicly talk about it. But if you want to see my first impressions, you can do so on my Patreon, mrtvelite.com. There you can see my very first impressions already if you want to. So, that was that. And then I also have lots of private things going on right now. So I was busy. I was really busy. So that was my week. And now we're going to find out about Steve. How was your week?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I've had a week off work, which I could have timed it perfectly with all the VR news happening. It's been a very, very interesting week for sure. But really, actually, funny enough, most of the week I've been doing just one thing, and you probably know what that's going to be.
You played the Arrow, or?
Yes, basically, my intention was I even bought a Lone Echo 2. One of my subscribers, by the way, I don't know if you're watching this, actually bought me Lone Echo, the original one, which was so kind of him. So thank you for that. So I've got the full series now. I'm looking forward to playing that. And Resident Evil, I bought that for the Quest 2, and I was really looking forward to trying out, what it's like. Even though it's a port, it's not a true sort of ground up VR experience in terms of anything really exciting. But for me personally, I've never, played any Resident Evil title, so it'd be interesting from my perspective, playing it on the Quest.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
So hopefully I'll be able to give my impressions next time, but I haven't played it. I haven't installed it yet either, because I've been using the Vario Aero. Basically, any chance I've got to play, to use VR, I've just been using that headset, if I'm honest. It's been a very cool time. Do I like it? Oh my god, it's a wet dream for us flight simmers, and I do think it's really important to point out something. That headset is not. I'm pointing. You can't see it because I've got this background on, but that headset is not to be played. You don't buy it to play Beat Saber with. Okay,
but you can. I played.
You can, of course, you can.
And I kind of enjoyed it.
You can absolutely play Beat Saber with it, but it's not designed for that at all. It is a professional grade headset for. Very specific types of experiences, particularly for flight simulations and race sims. Of course, it can be a gaming headset, but I don't know whether I would pick that up purely as a gaming headset. I don't really see why.
Right.
anyone would do that personally when you've got the likes of the Quest 2, which is far more feature rich, I
Totally agree.
suppose, for an incredibly cheap price.
Yeah.
That is all about that display technology, and you're paying a premium for that because there's nothing else out there that comes even close. And I don't think anything will for a very long time. I mean that. Even the Pimax 12k, I think that's very exciting, but it's not going to touch the Vario for pure display clarity. If I'm wrong, brilliant, because that's great. But I really can't see that happening. But yeah, absolutely incredible. I've been making sure that I've got loads of content coming of the Vario Aero. I've already put loads out, but I just wanted to spend this week using it for myself because it's exactly what Anthony's been saying, and in fact, all of you guys. It's important to kind of just switch off from YouTube sometimes and just enjoy VR for yourself, because that's the whole point why we do this in the first place. So it's been really nice, be able to really get to know the headset in terms of its performance, what I can push with my computer, what kind of frame rate I can get if I notch the resolution down. Is it still decent? Messing around with the software, all that kind of good stuff's coming on the channel, the kind of geeky stuff, and trying it in DCS World, Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course, X-Plane, all of the great ones, and testing it out. It's absolutely a dream come true for me. It is absolutely an amazing headset for my particular purpose. I know I'm a niche within a niche, but for flight simulation, if you've got the money to get it, it is the best of the best.
Hey,
Is it a
Steve.
loaner for you?
What?
Go for it, Anthony.
Go.
It's the one.
Tetiana, go ahead. Tetiana.
I was just wondering if that's a loaner, or did you like, you planning to keep it because you?
Yeah. No,
love
well, I'd
it?
love to keep it. It is a lone unit, but it's looking like I'll probably be keeping it a long term, because one of the things about this headset is that I've been working with Vario a little bit. Not working for them at all. I'm just helping them with the software to help them bring it to perform better in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the OpenXR platform is hopefully going to get their motion smoothing technology very soon, and it's the software side of things, because the thing is, you've got to understand, guys. The Vario Aero really is the Vario. They work for the likes of commercial partners like Boeing, like Lockheed Martin, like the Finnish Air Force. The colours in that thing are like 99% accurate, because that headset and that display technology is used to design cars. So it has to be right. It has to be absolutely spot on in terms of its colours. That's not so essential for a sort of more gaming focused headset. Colours are going to be great. Sometimes they're a bit overdone, like in the Vario Pro 2. Very nice colours, but they're too vivid. I've realised that now that I've got the Vario, those colours are beautifully natural, and it's those things that you get. But it's important for Vario to understand what the consumers need as well. So there's a few things I've mentioned to them, like we need a brightness slider in the software. For them, they were unsure. They were like, well, do you really? But yeah, for consumer use, for gaming, we want that extra control, that kind of granular control for sort of, the color palette and all that kind of stuff. So I've been kind of chatting to them about that to help them kind of understand what we really want. And I think it's because of that part, and the fact that, I'm not going to play this down. Me and Sebastian were the two main people, were the reason why Vario decided to do this in the first place. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that me and Sebastian was a part of that movement. It's a VR movement within the industry. It is.
Yeah, that was really amazing, because so many people liked and watched our videos about the device.
The reaction
And
was absolutely
The
incredible.
reaction was really good. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. One of my most viewed videos through the lens of the Vario VR3.
But I appreciate it's very expensive. It's incredibly expensive, and I think, if anything, this shows us where VR is heading. Don't feel compelled to buy it if it's too much money. It's fine. There's lots of other great headsets out there. The HP Reverb G2, I love that headset. I think for the price, if you consider the clarity perspective, it is absolutely brilliant.
And there's even a new version out of the G2, right?
There is.
With better tracking and stuff. I want to try this one out as well, of course.
Hey, Steve, quick question. So on that headset, the resolution is like basically like 2880 by 2880, right? Pretty much.
Yes.
And that resolution was in a headset that was out there in December of 2019 when Qualcomm had their new prototype that they came out with, and Scott Stein from CNET, he tried it out and everything, and they were talking about these 2880 by 2880, saying that at that point, that is when screen door is just a thing of the past. Like, it is
Agreed.
gone.
Agreed,
But here's my question though. So this Vario is like $2,000, right? But if these screens are now at a point where they're going to enter the mass market, like these screens are a thing. They were in that Qualcomm prototype in 2019. They're in the Vario. These screens are out there. Somebody is mass producing these screens, which what that tells me is that in the year 2022, we're going to get a headset from maybe Hewlett Packard or, somebody. There'll be somebody's going to step up and deliver one of these headsets.
I hope
now,
so. Yeah.
They're not going to have the advanced optics though, and I'm wondering how big of a difference that's going to be.
This is the point. It's spheric lens design that makes all the difference. And I don't know, Sebastian, you might be able to shed more light onto this, but I presume aspheric lenses are a lot more money to make than normal Fresnel lenses. But also, it's not just about that. You've got to know how to use them in software. If you just stick aspheric lenses on a Revo G2, it's going to be amazing clarity-wise, but you're going to get so much distortion. It's not going to be correct. You've got to have the software know-how. And you're also, with the Aero, it's all about that Vario-based software. The optimizations in that mean, and people have been asking me this for ages. I haven't done a video yet on it, but I intend to. In terms of performance, I'm getting the same performance with the Vario Aero than I am with the G2, and that's simply because of the software. Same. Yeah, it's superb, and that's the kind of thing you're buying. It's not just that resolution's only part of the story. It's also that auto IPD adjustment and the very important part of it, the colors, and of course how that is displayed with those optics.
Yeah, I actually think that is really the point. Like, the displays are amazing. That's one point. But when the optics, the lenses also fit them, then it's when you get this incredibly beautiful picture quality, right? And this kind of combination is just important. Like the Pro 2, the Vive Pro 2, for example, it has a fantastic panel actually with great colors and very high resolution. The resolution of the Vive Pro 2 actually is also really high, 2500 by 2500. But the lenses are just not good. The lenses simply have these God rays, these double Fresnel stacked lenses. And wow, the difference between looking through the Pro 2 and looking through the Aero, for example, is so huge. And the difference are simply the lenses, the clear lenses, the clear aspheric lenses.
And there's also, with the micro LED displays, you were saying, Sebastian, in one of your other videos as well, is that it's only a matter of time before Vario tap into the LED technology.
They need to do this.
Yeah, and then we'll get incredibly true lifelike black, deep colors. And then you've really got essentially the perfect headset, for people who need that absolute clarity. And, I'm that guy in this particular instance.
But it's still not perfect. In my opinion, they can still work on the FOV. The FOV is just okay-ish. Yeah, not really great, honestly speaking. So it's okay. So, yeah, we need the Pimax 12k QLED. That's going to be our first topic.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited about that. But anyway, sorry, we've kind of gone on a tangent here, really. But,
Are you finished with your week, Steve? Or
I best stop there, really. But yeah, basically, that's what I've been up to this week.
Okay, great. We have 220 people watching this stream, by the way. Hello, 220 people. Cool. That's amazing. That's a great number. And of course, you could still share this on Twitter, for example, and then probably even we're going to get a few more. Now, let's start with the first big event that happened, the Pimax event, the Pimax Frontier event. And I must honestly tell you, I went into that event and I didn't expect like world-changing things. I thought, okay, probably they're going to show us a new headset, as in, like always, everything the same, just a new display. Yeah, probably an 8KX with, I don't know, better FPS or better colors or whatever. And that was my expectation when I went in. Before the show, there were some rumors that there might be like a standalone headset from Pimax. And yeah, I thought probably this could actually happen, right? Why not? But then they completely shocked us all. Because first of all, in my opinion, the show itself was really good. Like the presentation, everything felt really professional, well done. in my opinion, this was the best Pimax announcement that I personally had ever watched. And basically, it was like fan service for VR enthusiasts. They have announced the Pimax 12k QLED, the new Frontier line of headsets. And this device is basically the VR enthusiast's dream. So here you can see it. And this device is crazy. So what is it? It's going to be tough to bring everything, to summarize everything. Let me try to
Good luck.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
another
first,
hour and a half.
yeah, right. Exactly. So they said they don't want to do any compromises, right? So they want to put the best into this headset. So is it a standalone headset or is it a PC VR headset? Well, both. Both, right? So you can use this as a standalone headset, and for the standalone mode, it has like an XR2 chipset, the chipset that we know from the Quest 2. And, well, it's going to have like its own store, the Pimax store, where you can buy, games, mobile games that you can also buy on the Quest. And they are working right now on getting this store full until next year. If you do not want to use this as a standalone headset only, then you can also use this as a PC VR headset, either wired, just normally, like we would normally do with a wire, or with WiGig wirelessly. So you can play your Half-Life Alyx wirelessly, but not over Wi-Fi, but over WiGig, which should allow for much better fidelity. So that is already interesting. So two things, standalone and PC VR. Then let's talk about the lenses. So also these are new lenses, and in their presentation, okay, there's no picture here in this article. In their presentation, they asked, "What do you want? Do you want Fresnel or do you want aspheric lenses?" Or like
Yes.
yes, exactly. Yes. Yes is the right answer, Tetiana. Yes. Because of course we want to have the best of both worlds, right? Because Fresnel lenses also have advantages, as in there's less distortion as compared to aspheric lenses. But of course, we also want the clarity of aspheric lenses. So they came up with a completely new type of lenses which they call bionic lenses. And these bionic lenses, in the middle, they are more clear. And in the peripheral area, they are Fresnel lenses with those concentric rings. And thanks to these new lenses, those compound lenses, they can even have a higher field of view than the current Pimax headsets. You know, the current Pimax headsets, they already have like a huge FOV, the biggest FOV on this planet Earth. But now they even have more. Now they have 200 degrees horizontal, 240 diagonal, and 135 vertical. And 135 vertical, that's basically the human field of view already. And for 200 degrees horizontal, that's just like 20 degrees shy of the human FOV, so nearly perfect. And also, they say, the problems of the current Pimax headsets is the binocular overlap, the stereo overlap, which will help you to have like a more relaxed picture and a better 3D picture. And they say now this has a much better binocular overlap with 118 degrees. And for the old Pimax headsets, there was nowhere near. And in their presentation, they also said that they have completely done away with any kind of distortions. Wow, okay, sign me up. Because honestly, that was like one of the problems of the Pimax headsets, especially on the large FOV. You had lots of distortions going on. The lenses were not ideal. And if the new Pimax Reality 12k QLED can make all of this go away, sign me friggin' up. Of course, right? So, but anyways, I'm still at the beginning of this summary. Okay, probably it's going to be 1 hour again. So then lenses. But then, of course, you also need a good display. And for the display, now they said they have they have 120 million subpixels as compared to the only 50 million subpixels of the 8KX, which had like 4K displays on every eye, right? So this has like a 6K display on every eye and super, super many pixels, many subpixels. And for the technology, for the display technology, they also said, okay, you know what? We simply combine two great display technologies, which is QLED from Samsung, and that is like even better than OLED as far as the color accuracy is concerned. So super, super high quality as far as colors are concerned, and they also have the mini LED technology, whereas it's not only one huge display, one huge light in the back of the display, which can be on or off. No, you can have like zones, dimmable zones, and just if there is a ball in or any object in the display, just this object will get backlight, and the rest, if it's black, there's no backlight. So this basically will help you to have like perfect OLED blacks. Everything put together into one headset. It has this, the 12k QLED. Okay, so that is pretty crazy. Right. So what else does this have? Then it also has eye tracking, of course, but not only eye tracking, it also has face tracking, mouth tracking, and body tracking. Everything, right? 11 cameras, everything it has already. Unbelievable. And
unbelievable. It really is unbelievable.
It is kind of unbelievable. It's like, okay, what do you want as a VR enthusiast? Yeah, this. Okay, let's make a headset out of it. And then what we are not finished yet. We're not finished yet. Let's see what else can we find. Okay, so IPD adjustment, automatic. So just like with the arrow, just like with the Vario Arrow, you put it on, your IPD gets measured, and boom, automatically the lenses will be put into place, and you have like a huge range, 57 to 72 millimeters. Then for tracking, it's inside-out tracking, so you don't need the base stations. But if you want the base stations, you can get the optional SteamVR tracking add-on. Yeah, so you can whatever you want, you can get it. It's Christmas, and it's everything together. It's unbelievable. So inside-out tracking. So 4 cameras, inside-out tracking with controllers. That reminded me and some other people of the Oculus Touch controllers. So really interesting, very interesting. Yep. Then, did I say everything? So yeah, you have in-head strap speakers, but you can also have the speakers like in the Valve Index, of course, if you want, right? Because we want everything. We have like 3 microphones. And
I think the microphone is also like a noise cancellation microphone.
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? Of course.
I think they did. It's like 3 different microphones.
3 different
in one
mics.
Or something.
3 different mics, right? Exactly. And so that. Then you have all kind of different modules. You can simply exchange the module by changing the faceplate, right? And you can have the lighthouse cover for lighthouse tracking. The batteries are hot swappable, right? Yeah. So you can just get them out, put the new battery in.
6,000 milliamp as well.
6,000 milliamps. And even they have like a MR cover, so for mixed reality. There's a cellular cover for 5G. Oh my God! It was a crazy event. It was unbelievable. Oh yeah, and then they also come up with a Pimax VR station. Which is basically a mini computer. And with this mini computer, if you don't want to get into making your own gaming PC, you can simply buy that. It is pre-configured. It already has the WiGig module, and you can simply get your Half-Life Alyx on. And of course, this is also portable, so you can bring this anywhere you want to go and simply play. No idea what's in that, but they said you can play PC VR games in a great way with that wirelessly. So that's a Pimax VR station, some kind of like a console, like console gaming. You don't have to worry; everything's pre-configured and works together. Then, still not the end. At the end of the show, they came up with one more thing. Oh, we also have that focus display that the VR3 has with 70 ppd. That's what the VR3 has. It has this context display, but they also have like another display which is being projected onto the main display and will give you a human resolution, 70 pixel per degree. Oh my goodness! So that's something that the VR3 has from Vario, which costs like more than 3,000 euros.
That was more of a concept, isn't it? Sort of in the future, future, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, no, yeah, but if you watch the presentation, they said like, oh, one more thing. Here's what we have. And
it's like Columbo, wasn't it? Turn around. Oh, by the way, one more thing.
Yeah, right. Columbo, yeah, or Steve Jobs. Yeah, and then, but this is still not over. This thing is still not over. So one amazing thing. If you out there, if you buy a Pimax headset right now, like for example the 8KX, which costs $1,200 without tax, then once this comes out next year, you can trade this in, and you'll get 100% of that price of the new device. So basically, you get an 8KX for free now.
I think have they changed that since then? I think it's now a trading price, unless
it changed to what?
Change to trade-in. So whatever you get secondhand for it, more than actual full price for 8KX. They're not going to be able to do that.
Well,
that's what they're saying. They're saying you're going to get the full price.
That's what they said.
It's crazy.
You can see it.
You'll be waiting probably an extra year, though. That's the thing.
I think so
like you'll have to send it in and wait like another year. Like I
don't know.
But they say that they're going to prioritize current owners of Pimax, so they will try to make them get it faster. So the ones who already have it will get the new one.
Probably yes. Yeah, so the trade-in option, and when I had Kevin Henderson from Pimax there, he also said yes, this is going to happen. If you buy this now, once the device is out, which they hope, or which they said is going to be Q4 2022, then you can totally trade it in. And they were not even sure if you actually have to send it back. They didn't even know. Probably you can keep it. So they were not sure about this. Anyways, you will get the full price onto that new device once it comes out. I think I have now summarized everything. Did I forget anything? I don't know. Anyways, Anthony, tell me your thoughts about the Pimax 12k QLED Dream device that's going to come out next year, Q4.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's good things to look at here. Number one, I think one of the best things is that when you have a company like this that keeps pushing the envelopes in extreme directions, I think it's good for the industry overall, because I think when you raise the bar, even though this is like an outlier headset that is not going to be a mainstream item, but you do raise expectations overall. I think the Vario, that raises expectations. This raises expectations. Project Cambria is going to raise expectations. So it's always good to have these companies reaching for the stars. This is going to have 11 cameras. Now, I know that the XR2 is capable of having 7 simultaneous cameras. So I'm wondering if like the XR2 is going to handle 7 of those, and then like the other 4 are going to be controlled by some other microprocessors. I have a lot of questions about this thing, like the swappable battery pack. So if you're going to have hot swappability, then the actual headset itself should have a very small battery, an internal battery that will allow you to have like maybe 1 minute to actually do the swap. So like you're playing Fallout 4 VR or something like that, and you don't want to actually have to save your game or whatever, and you can go get your other battery. Hot swappable batteries, like that's a dream, right? We've been asking for this for a while, because you put that weight in the back. You already want to have that weight in there anyways, so might as well take advantage of that, have this hot swappable battery feature. That is incredible. In terms of field of view, like one of the things that I'll stress, I'm the type of person, and I've never tried a super wide field of view headset, but I believe that the immersion, I want to be in VR, man, and we're not in VR. Like right now we have this tunnel vision, and you're just not there. You don't feel there. I feel like I'm in this room because I have all this periphery vision all over the place, and it binds me into this room. And what I would love to see in the future is 200 degrees, so you can actually really just like feel like you're in a completely new place. And I'm willing for the visuals to drop dramatically. I'm talking going back to the Stone Ages, like playing PlayStation 1 level games, but having truly legit field of view. And what else? Body tracking. Yes, this is the first headset that is featuring body tracking that we know of. Well, I mean, no, there might be some other headsets, but this is a headset that has been announced to feature built-in body tracking, down-facing, wide field of view cameras that are going to basically be tracking your skeletal frame and doing some inverse kinematics. They're going to have an algorithm. See, this is the thing. This is where like Meta has an advantage in this area from the standpoint of if Meta had their down-facing cameras, they would have algorithms that would be trained off of machine learning and neural networks to predictively map your skeleton in a really good way. Now, is Pimax going to have good software in that department? It's doubtful, but at least they're pushing the boundaries here. And the thing about the Pimax, ginormous headset, right? That looks like it's going to weigh 3 pounds and it sticks far off your head. So what better headset to have down facing cameras at the edge? I mean, it's such a ginormous thing in the first place, right? And it's sticking out so far. So they're out enough inches to actually angle them down and cover your entire body. So, eye tracking with Tobii built in. So Tobii is finally getting into these headsets now. This is like Tobii was into this whole thing for a while. Now they're finally squeezing their way into certain headsets, right? But this is where the rubber meets the road, because foveated rendering, this is one thing I've always said about foveated rendering. Prove it to me. Prove it to me with foveated rendering. I'm not buying any of the foveated rendering talk. Even John Carmack, I did a tweet one time. I was talking about foveated rendering and somebody came back at me and I was like, I don't know, ask John Carmack. And then John Carmack jumped into the tweet too. And he also said that the benefits that you get with foveated rendering, it's this panacea. People see it as this panacea that the foveated rendering is going to help all of us, because how are we going to run this thing? Do we got a quantum computer that we just got from IBM, one of the leaders in quantum computing, even though a lot of people don't know about that? How are you going to run this thing? Okay, well, foveated rendering is going to save the world, right? But I don't believe, I believe when you get in there and you see the foveated rendering, I'm going to notice it. I'm going to notice the herky-jerkiness. Okay, well, we'll see.
So. I have tried foveated rendering on one of these Qualcomm headsets, right, on these reference designs, and you can really not see it because, well, it works. When you look somewhere, this part is sharp, and your peripheral vision, it doesn't matter so much. It's true, it works. Yeah. Anyways, Anthony, do you believe that Pimax can pull it off? This is the main question. So I agree with you. It's amazing that they are pushing it to the limits right now, and that's exactly the headset that many of us want, right? The question is just, will they be able to pull it off?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they can get half of these things in the final version, it's still pushing a hell of a lot of boundaries. Just the 200 degree FOV and like full vertical. So, I mean, this is one of these things, like, I'm not going to go buy a Pimax. See, this is the other thing. My other complaint is none of this stuff really jazzes me up. Now, Project Cambria jazzes me up because there's the possibility that like mass market people can adopt it. There's no possibility of mass market people adopting this or adopting
$2,400, by the way. I totally forgot to say it. $2,400 this device. Yeah.
So it's hard for me to get super hyped in it, because then also too, it's like, what about games on this thing? Okay, I know games are naturally going to get that benefit of the wider FOV. But one of the things I think of is, like, if you look at the world of television, when we first got high definition way back in the early 2000s, we were living in a world where all the cameras were 4:3, and then you get this high definition thing, and like they couldn't do anything with the sides, and what I relate to that is in the world of games, like games are being designed in VR with a field of view of like 105 degrees in mind. So they're not doing these things on these outer edges to take advantage of all this. I've never tried a Pimax, so I don't know how much of a benefit you get regardless of that.
It does work.
It works. Sure, it works. But like, don't you think if like this was a standard, like if Oculus had a 200-degree headset and they're like, this is the new effing standard, then when the developers are actually developing the game, like they're thinking of your entire visual field of what they can do. And right now they're more focused on this. So you got this huge area, but the real focus is here. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'd love to try one out at like a VR arcade if those things ever existed again.
Yeah, right. Or you need to come to good old Germany, go to the MRTV headquarters to try it all out yourself.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. I went to the coast the other day. I'm only like half an hour away from the coast, and there's now a VR arcade there.
Okay,
So I thought that's really cool. So yeah,
they're coming back.
That. Yeah, I thought it was really good to see that.
Tetiana, what are your thoughts about this device, the 12k QLED? And when you watched the event, what were your thoughts in general?
Huge suspicions and mistrust to everything they were saying, because they were saying exactly what literally every VR enthusiast in the world wanted to hear.
Yeah, in a very bold manner, right? Like the presentation was like, okay, here's this.
And I would understand if they were this bold and confident if they were releasing it in a month, so we would actually, okay, here it is, like you will have it, pre-order, whatever. A full year ahead of its release. And to promise all of that, to really hype up people about it, $2,400 headset that doesn't really, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't really exist yet.
Right.
We might see a prototype in January at that conference, but then again, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what it shows. But really, like, it's exactly that. It's like they cramped. This is actually what I say in the video on my channel about it, because obviously, like, I had to like rant about it a little bit and tell my thoughts, and it's just full of suspicions mixed with excitement, because I'm a human person. I'm fond of VR very much, so I really want this all to be true. But we really need to keep companies accountable for these promises, and not jump on the hype ship of being super excited about something that we like hearing about. So I don't know. I just felt like it sounds so good in every possible way. So it's like
Sounds too good to be true, right?
Look, you put all the biggest VR enthusiasts in the world in the same room and you tell them, design a headset for us. What do you want to see? And they're like, I want a human IFOV. I want it to be a PSVR, PCVR, but also a standalone. So all of these dream kind of versions of the headset, and all included into one, when it was most importantly, without having to make any compromises. So when you have an amazing headset, and like Vario, for example, Era, you tried it. You know how amazing it is with the graphics, with the I'm not going to like put the words in your mouth, but you also saw that there are some things that could be improved, like FOV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's good, but it's not great. I think it's
okay.
A small thing, right? It doesn't have like a built-in mic, I think. Isn't
Right.
that the thing?
That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
would be great.
It's here.
For a gamer, a casual gamer, I don't think this is really meant for them.
It's weird, right? It's not. You wouldn't even think that it's something so complicated to do.
It's
but
a weird
okay.
headset for people like me who's weird.
They probably later thought, oh my God, we forgot the friggin' mic. It's too late now, bro.
So, like, things like that. And obviously, this is true for every headset that exists. There's some things that are great, but there are also some things like, well, we didn't have finances for that. Like, we couldn't cover it because that would really drive the cost high, or like these technologies like unavailable or something like that. Here, it's like you literally get to have everything, and it costs $2,400, which is really not that high for everything they offer, I think. Like,
And you get the Pimax 8KX basically for free. Now.
And I didn't even get to it. Like, that's my next point. But like,
sorry.
so you get all this for, but yeah, it's important.
It's important.
For an average consumer, it's expensive. But even with Vario, like the whole internet is, and you guys are like, "Whoa, this is like the best experience
It's
for
amazing.
really quality VR, gaming, like sims, flight sims, and racing, and all of that." But this is great. But it's also not perfect, and I think there's still some distortion. And then
Yes,
these guys at
right.
Pimax said, we don't even know how to have any distortion. So we're going to be
Exactly.
better in every single way than already the best headset. And we're only going to be $400 more expensive. And we'll have more than that. So, I mean, if you think about it critically just a little bit, it's enough to kind of have these doubts. And I understand that a lot of people will just want to believe that it's going to be true. And I really hope that it is. But I think that there are going to be changes to some of the statements that they have done during this presentation, simply because they've done it so early.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to be this release, and they will, I think that they might be changing some things, either to how much this headset is going to cost, which I don't know. If they're really going to be this trade-in offer, how are they going to fund it?
That's a
If there are
great
already people
question.
who own it, and now this is my second point, is that saying, look, we're going to have this amazing headset, and you will get it for even cheaper if you buy our current generation of a headset right now. So go ahead and get it. Isn't this like a superb marketing move for people to
It
go
is.
ahead and buy?
And some
all
people
these
do
headsets?
that. I can tell it from my German community. Some people say, you know what? I'm just going to buy the 8KX now. I'm not going to buy the Aero because, hey, look, I can upgrade to this dream thing next year for only 1,000.
Isn't
Well,
it a little
honestly,
fishy though? Like just a little bit. How
Yeah.
many people will actually go ahead and purchase this current generation? It's already been here for years, but just because they were fed the promise of this dream headset.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
That's really
there's
the
going to be
point.
some strings attached to it. Is everybody going to be able to do it? Is it only the ones that are buying it like now? What about current owners?
I think the strings are that it's not going to come out next year. That's the point.
That's
Yeah, if
and
it's
that's
delayed a
what
couple of months,
Yeah.
it's a
Or
2023 product.
or
And we're
years.
talking about a 2023 product in October of 2021.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
they said fourth quarter of 2022, and that's why they pushed it all the way to the very end of 2022, because technically it's only next year, but practically they will keep pushing it. And yeah, I agree, it's going to be 2023. And
That's the
who
track
knows?
record of Pimax. It took
And who
longer.
knows?
The stuff took
Yeah.
longer, always.
Things are going to be changing, man. Like, I hope not, but I think that there's going to be a lot of things that they will just overpromised, and some of the things they are not going to be capable of delivering either in due time or for the price that they have promised to their consumers. And it's a very dangerous move right now to hype it up so much and to get people to buy their products. And then I'm not saying that this is all a sham and they don't have a headset at all.
No.
But they have
I
something.
also
but,
don't say that. Exactly.
But it's not. It's just now it's going to be so easy to disappoint the consumers, like way
Yeah.
too easy. Like, I'm
We had
actually
been there already.
concerned about that. Like,
We had been there.
I don't know. Why wouldn't they hype up a few things? Like, why did they have to announce everything? Why couldn't they like mention a few of these things and keep revealing them as they go on?
They
and
wanted
they're
to come
coming
big,
along?
baby. They came big.
And they did come big. It was one of the most exciting VR events that I ever saw. Steve,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about the Pimax 12?
To be honest, the thing is, we've all, Anthony and Tetiana, we've spoken a lot about this already. So I don't know what more I can add to it. To be honest, from my point of view, I totally understand where you're coming from. But Pimax are that crazy VR developer that we do need. We need them to innovate like they are, and I think that's a great thing. But if you are worried about it, don't buy it. Let's see what happens. It'd be fun to sit on the fence and see how this comes out. If you don't trust Pimax, and a lot of people don't, I understand that they've been burnt by them in the past. Then that's fine. Let's see what happens. It's just too early to tell, isn't it? The thing is with the Aero, it's a real product. It's actually there. You've got it, Sebastian. It's
Yeah,
going
I
to
have
be
it
delivered.
here. Yeah.
in a couple of months as well, probably a bit more than that. But it's good. People have pre-ordered it. It's a
The
real
magic table.
device.
Everything is there.
Look at that! There it is. It is. So if you've got any worry, this is for everybody in the chat. Anybody who's
Put it
worried
back
about
in.
or concerned about buying it, then don't buy it. That's kind of it, really, isn't it? So just
Yeah.
wait. Let's wait until what happens next year, or
Yeah,
when.
but
So
how
that's
about
only
how about the people that believe really it's going to come out next year and that are now, because of that promise, are buying the 8KX that they actually probably wouldn't buy. Probably they want to buy the Aero instead, right? But now they think, you know what? This is way better than the Aero. This is like the dream, and therefore now I go for the 8KX, and then next year it's not going to come out, and it's kind of not so nice, is it?
It depends on where you're coming from. I would say any flight simmer out there, buy the Aero, because it's an aerospace industry headset. It's used, as I've said before, for the air forces around the world. For God's sake, it's like to have a headset like that for us geeky flight simmers is the absolute dream come true. So from that point of view, absolutely buy the Aero. It's as simple as that for me. I don't.
Yeah,
really...
use it for a year, and then you're still probably waiting for the other one. So you might as well get a year out
if
of it.
I'm honest, I don't think it's going to be ready this time next year. I really don't. I think you'd be foolish to think otherwise. I do, however, when I was watching that, like probably everybody else, and I've never been that excited about in a sort of a live stream announcement for VR for a very many years. And whether it's smoke and mirrors, I can't say. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think any of us can say for certain. But it was I loved their presentation. I thought it was very bohemian. I thought it was very different. It was out there and it was exciting. It made me feel excited about VR again and where this possibly could go. And whether this is a concept or not, the fact that this is the kind of thing that they're looking towards is very exciting. But if it was me and my own money, I wouldn't be pre-ordering the 12K. I would not be doing that. I'd be going for the Aero. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on it, to be honest.
Wait a minute, though. What about this? Like, let's say you never tried an Aero, and let's say you went to some special thing where it was like the 12KX line is right here, the Aero line is right here.
Oh, that's hard. Well, I don't know what the thing is. What I'm interested in is the fact that this bionic display, they're mentioning aspheric lenses and Fresnel. Now, straight away, even if it's combined, it's not going to have the clarity, the edge-to-edge clarity of a specifically aspheric lens design headset, I don't think. So, and how are you going to run 12K, even on a 5090 or whatever, whatever headset, whatever GPU is going to be out this time next year, it still will not be able to run 12K. You maybe foveated rendering, like Anthony said, well, I disagree with what Anthony said in terms of foveated rendering is actually a savior for VR, but it's not in the sense that it has to be supported. It has to be supported by each sim game that develops it. So like the Aero that has foveated rendering, but Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't use it and probably never will for many years to come. So I can't see that being. I think I can see that being a problem performance-wise as well. Mm-hmm. But I would choose the Aero personally, unless I manage to get to try one, of course, and then obviously that's different. See. But yeah, we'll see.
And Sebastian, you're doing a CES, right?
Yeah, actually, I have to plan things out now, but I really want to go there, of course, to check out that device because they have said, you know what, this is real. We're going to show a prototype at CES, and obviously, I want to put it on my face, and I want to check it out for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to plan the trip to the United States of America, and looking forward to be back there, and hopefully gonna meet some of you at CES in Las Vegas. Have a
just
beer
quickly
together.
Say as well, actually, just about field of view again. Absolutely right. Once you put a 8KX on, that field of view is absolutely incredible. And once you go back to any other headset, it feels like you're looking through a pair of toilet rolls.
Absolutely.
It just does. And that's the same for the Aero as well. So it all boils down to what is most important to you in a VR headset, field of view or clarity. I still think that will still be the case when the 12K arrives, because maybe it will have that amazing clarity, but no one will be able to run the thing because 12K is insane. There's absolutely no way no one's going to be able to.
Quick question for you, Sebastian. So so the resolution, like let's say you wanted to actually have the full freaking resolution, how do you actually, like, how do you even get that out of a video? Like, is it even possible to like get that signal into that headset without any compression, without any loss of like to run it at the full resolution?
I believe they are going to use some compression, right, from NVIDIA, the NVIDIA compression. I believe they need to rely on this technology in order to put all these pixels through. And I believe this could work. And then together with foveated rendering, who knows, next year, Q4, probably foveated rendering can already work on a driver level from NVIDIA, as in like it simply works for all games. I could believe that this could happen actually. So I think this could work, and that's also one of the reasons, in my opinion, why NVIDIA cards work only. Same like with the Aero, because they are really like very bullish on VR, NVIDIA, and therefore
it's the drivers.
It's the drivers, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
AMD have great sort of raw power, particularly with their CPUs, but unfortunately they're let down by driver updates, particularly for VR. Does AMD even know VR exists? I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like this.
I have AMD CPU. It's okay for that, but
it's okay. But GPU, that's the point.
Yeah.
Right?
One other weird thing about this whole deal is that they're going to have their own store. Like, how crazy is that? They're going to sell. Well, it makes sense, but dude, are you gonna, like, for example, okay, so this thing might be able to play Quest games, right? Apparently,
it can,
like they might be able to convert Quest games to play on this.
Yes.
And so the thing is like, am I as a consumer going to buy Arizona Sunshine in the Pimax store and have it stuck in the but can I use it anywhere else? Can I do anything with it? Like,
probably this standalone experience is going to be amazing. Probably way better than the Quest because of the YFOV. Probably then you want to buy it there. We don't know. There's also
it's weird. It's weird. I mean, one other cool thing about Pimax too, just in general, is like somebody could acquire this company. Another company could, because like if you,
and I can tell you which one, NVIDIA. They should buy. They should buy them, in my opinion. Absolutely, because
I thought you were going to say Facebook.
No, Facebook.
No, but if someone wants to compete with Facebook, like this would be. I mean, can you really make these things mass market though? That's the thing. But I could see possibly being acquired.
Who knows? Yeah, so let me also tell you guys about my opinion about the 12k QLED. So, and I also said this on my stream, I root for Pimax. I honestly want them to succeed because obviously this headset, it just seems to be the dream of us VR enthusiasts. And all the 273 people who are watching this live right now, we are enthusiasts and we want that device. So I root for Pimax. I really hope that they can make it happen until next year. Unfortunately, though, I just also have to look at their track record. And the track record just tells me they did have amazing promises in the past, and they fulfilled those promises. They actually did. And everything that I bought from Pimax, I received it. But I had to wait 1, 2, 3, 4 years in some cases. So that is the point where I believe this is going to be tough. Because for this headset, there are so many moving parts, so many different things that you have to combine. And hardware is hard because you have to get all the parts, right? Which is not easy, especially in times right now where the big companies are snatching up all the hardware and all the pieces that you might need. So many moving parts, and putting it all together into one headset and then delivering it like within 1 year is an unbelievably hard task. And I know they don't start from zero. Like Kevin told me, they had already been working on this for 2 years, right? So there is going to be a prototype at CES, which I think is amazing. But still, to put this out in 1 year with all the stuff that they have promised is going to be such a tough task. And again, that's one thing which I would criticize when looking at Pimax. It always feels there's this carrot dangling in front of VR enthusiasts. There's always the next big thing that we should look forwards to. So we forget everything there was in the past, and now there's this new carrot which is dangling in front of our heads, and now that's it. What you should look at. So now forget about the 8KX already. Forget about this. This is old. This is stuff.
It's dead to us.
It's dead.
I'll put it in the bin.
Right, forget it.
I'll
Now,
trade it in, actually.
It's
I'll
the
trade
new
it in.
carrot. It's a new carrot. And instead of just like focusing, finally, for once and all, focusing on the one thing that they have now and making it really, really great and even better. That is, in my opinion, what they should do. Instead of like, again, over-promising. And I believe they overpromised with everything they said. Like, okay, no distortion. Well, I'm not so sure about that. It's still optics, and it's still not like a curved display, right? With a curved display, probably I would say, okay, probably you can really make no distortions for that huge field of view. But it's still the same canted displays. I simply can't believe that there's going to be no distortions, like they said. And bringing it all together, everything working fine. We don't even know yet how the tracking is going to be, and all the things that need to come together to make this the perfect headset. I am skeptical, but I root for them. I hope they can make it happen. But this carrot dangling in front of the VR enthusiast, always waiting and waiting. Why not take what you have and make it the best thing ever right now? The 8KX. Make it the best 8KX you could do and simply sell it probably at even a bit better prices and just focus on something that you have right now. That is, in my opinion,
I totally agree with that.
what they should really,
Absolutely.
really do instead of like this over-promising and then probably not delivering again. And the thing with, okay, if you buy this now, you can trade it in at full price. Well, it is a smart thing to do, but it can backfire so badly. Like you're creating toxicity here. Like some people now who are tricked into buying an 8KX who would probably buy another headset if they wouldn't go for it. And then they cannot get this in Q4 2022. You have so many toxic people then who hate your brand. And actually, this is a problem of Pimax. Like it's a very toxic. Like they don't have super fans. There's lots of toxicity going on. Like for example, in the forums, and I needed to say goodbye to the forums because it was just too toxic there. And you create this toxicity by never really like fulfilling your promises on time. So I believe there's going to be people that's going to be pissed off if the device does not come out in Q4 2022, and then all the trust, which already is gone, it's going to be even worse, and then you will make this bad reputation cement. So why not just concentrate on the good headset that you have right now and say, okay, we have something like this coming up, but not like make this super huge, super bold event where you like so confidently say, okay, and this is now this, and this, we have also this. Yeah. So, no. Show it to us.
I think the 8KX is going to be even better.
Prove you're right.
If people have bought the 8KX, regardless of this other headset, you're going to have an amazing time with it, okay? Especially if you are a flight simmer or race simmer. It's absolutely incredible, and it's going to be even better next year because it's going to mature with hardware. I already think that the 8KX is already a headset for the future as it is at the moment, particularly with the resolution and field of view. I would love for Pimax to keep honing their software and get it to a point where it really does truly perform as well as they want it to in DCS and all the likes of it. So, it's all about software, to be honest, I think. And, letting hardware mature. Hardware is playing catch up all the time here. So I do think that even if you have bought an 8KX, just enjoy it. Don't worry about this other headset. If it comes, brilliant. If it doesn't, you're still going to have an incredible experience.
That's my problem with it too.
Agreed.
I agree with both of you. I think that by doing this, the trade-in offer, it's almost like the giveaway strategy, where you're getting this, but in the future you'll get something different. So enter this. You'll get this special treatment by getting this headset for cheaper and faster. It kind of putting the shade on their own product in a way that it devalues it. So like you get it
a bit,
now,
yes,
but
exactly.
just get it, just get it. You're gonna get something much better later on. They're not actually capitalizing on their strength, which is
So
Pimax
agreed, Tetiana.
8KX. So like, why not actually put it on the pedestal and say, like, this is amazing, do it, buy it because it's great, not because you will get something better later on. It's strange
Perhaps.
that they are doing
Exactly.
it. Perhaps, well,
Yeah.
at least. But anyway, and another thing, with the Pimax is how what Sebastian basically, to add to that, it's nothing tangible at the moment. And I compare it to Vario,
It will
where
be
we
soon,
actually
though.
could see the business model was amazing, and the community, and you were the big, important part of that community that were convincing them to come up with something consumer based, and we all knew that they are capable of doing it. The technology is already there because we could already see that they can do it, and they did it. They did even more than we probably thought. But with Pimax, there's nothing so far that would really convince us that they can do it, except for
Well,
the FOV maybe that is
Yeah, but
already.
as a Pimax user, I know how good their headsets are, regardless of all the other doom and gloom about the company.
Yeah, they have really come a long way. Totally agreed, really.
If I just went, right, I've had enough of this, I'm going to go and play DCS in the Pimax, I'll have the best time in the world. So let's just think about the headset itself. It's absolutely incredible, and I do feel that I would rather Pimax exist than them not exist. It's a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. And of course, if you don't want to jump on the bandwagon straight away, no one's forcing you to. Let's just see how things play out. But I've got to say, as a Pimax user, it's friggin' incredible. Without trying to swear, it's just the most amazing experience with that field of view. Once you've experienced it, it's hard to go back. It really is hard to go back. So there's a lot of positives here as well. And if you don't trust them, or if you don't want to jump on the bandwagon earlier, then don't. Let's just sit back in the sidelines and see what happens.
Okay, I won't. But then they promise that the current users will get the special treatment of getting these headsets sooner. And then I think, okay, so now you're not leaving me any choice. Now I have to get it because I don't want to be left behind in this group of people who didn't get Pimax and have to wait to get it just because the other ones had the older headset and I didn't.
Yeah, well,
That's
I would
one of the
not.
problems
I would
have
not
with
buy an 8KX in the promise of getting this 12K. I would buy an 8KX because I want an 8KX.
Yeah, but others will now, because of this kind of promotion, jump onto 8KX because they actually want the 12K.
I would not recommend that at all.
Yeah, right.
It's-
I would
it's a-
also
it's a
say,
clever
be
market-
careful. You're not
it's
sure if you're
very-
going to get it next year.
It's a very clever marketing strategy. It really is. But I would not do
but
that.
it can
personally.
fire back. So it can fire back so badly. As
Yeah,
I
of
just
course.
said.
I think it might do. Quite honestly, I think it might do. If I wouldn't be doing that. I'd just be buying it. I'd just buy a headset if I want to buy it. I wouldn't be messing around doing any other. I wouldn't even pre-order a headset. I'd just go and buy it when it's ready.
I think the company might really hope that once they get 8KX, they will see how awesome it is and they won't be upset if
perhaps.
the trade-in comes later on. I mean, it might happen, but for some people, maybe not, because maybe they wanted a standalone headset all along and they bought 8KX and it's not standalone and they're not getting
Right.
12K for another year or so. Who knows? So it definitely can backfire.
Wow. I just see here on my Road to VR that they even like advertising here. This is Road to VR, right? And here, Pimax trade-in program. It's on Road to VR. They bought Road to VR advertisement. Trade-in program. Purchase Pimax headset now. Get full deduction for Reality 12K QLED. Let me click on that.
Give them some engagement.
Yeah.
You just made Road to VR's week.
Yeah, exactly. Purchase Pimax headset now. Get full deduction for Reality QLED in Q4 2022. It's even here black on white. That is my problem, because they write it here.
But is there any
black
fine
on
print
white.
anywhere at the bottom that says this will probably not happen?
No, it says here to go where no one has gone before. There's no fine
They
print.
really have
Oh,
with that
wow.
announcement.
So if
anyway.
if I'm a user now that doesn't know the history of Pimax, who just sees this website, it sounds like, okay, I will get this Reality 12K QLED in Q4 2022, and I simply have to buy now. I'm missing this asterisk, which says like, okay, this is our goal. This is the point. This is really the point. You can buy a Pimax here. Now available for purchase. So really, I also totally agree with what Tetiana has said. Why not like totally bank on my strength of this headset, which is like not a bad headset at all, right? And not just make it like, okay, you will get this here, our old one, and then you can totally trade it in. Right. So this is, I would really like to know.
yeah, the binocular overlap. That's exciting too.
Yeah, it is. It would be, right? Because this is like one of the problems of the Pimax right now. And it's great that Steve enjoys it so much, but I know there's lots of people.
All headsets need better binocular overlap.
Yeah, but there's one now which has an amazing binocular overlap, and I can tell you already, it's the Vive Flow. I was like shocked when I used it. It's like it's nearly human. It's really good binocular overlap. I should probably have not said that. But it really has a cool binocular overlap. Yeah, but anyway,
I understand people's worries, but if you are worried about it, don't go ahead and buy one. Don't go into it. Let's just wait and see what happens. And if they do deliver, then oh my god, we're going to have the best VR headset we've ever.
I want them to prove me wrong. Really, and that's really one big reason why I want to go to CES. I want to go to their stand and try it out and tell the world what I saw. And I hope that I'm going to say, okay, guys, I'm so sorry that I ever doubted you guys. I'm so sorry. I want that to happen. I want to go live on MRTV and say, oh God, I'm so sorry. Sell everything.
If that is true, if that is true, I will formally make a formal video apologizing for the suspicions I had in the video that I made in October 2021.
Again, I root for them, but I simply have my suspicions, or how would I say that in English? Like, because of the track record.
Yeah, you're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, right. I'm cautiously optimistic because, probably everything took so long with their products before because they had to invent them first. But now probably they have already invented everything they need. Like, for example, that audio, that is like the Valve Index, right? They were working on it because they had to make it. And now it's ready. The head strap, they had to invent it and now it's ready. Probably they just have to add some battery. Probably they really have everything in place already because it took them so long until now to make them, and now they have everything in place, and now they have just to combine it into one, and they're going to prove me and other doubters wrong. And I want this to happen for the sake of us VR enthusiasts.
I think even in 2 years' time, this or 3 years' time, this 12k QLED is going to be way ahead of anything else. I do believe that if it ever comes to fruition. So I would recommend people just buy the Aero. It's a real product. You'll get 2, maybe 3 years out of it, and then by then, if the 12k QLED finally surfaces, or if it is indeed a thing, then by then hardware will have caught up as well, and you'll be able to enjoy it.
But by then, imagine where Meta's going to be, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Oh, man.
Sebastian, since
I like how you did that there. We probably should start talking about that.
300 people watching us.
Wow,
do you think we
crazy.
could ask if the viewers, if they would buy Pimax?
Yeah, okay, I can do
KX
it. Okay, let me
for
do it.
the with the promise of trade-in, or they would wait? Like, I'm curious
Okay.
what people are thinking about it, because I know
you
this
mean
is,
like as a poll, right, on YouTube?
either a poll or just like yes or no. I'm just curious, what people think about it, because this is still an expensive. Both of them are expensive headsets, so I wonder if this trade-in offer would sway a lot of the viewers here. I don't know if our
Okay.
opinions have changed any minds already, but still.
Okay, let me create the poll. So what should the poll be? Will you buy the 12Q OLED, or what should I ask?
Or just basically, will you go for the trade-in offer from Pimax?
Will you go?
Are you
for-
tempted by the trade-in offer?
I'll start.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I
Will
wouldn't
you,
do it at
will
all.
you go for the trade-in offer and buy the 8KX now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
need to
let's
have
see.
patience. Wait, see what happens.
Well, still, like, it does
Yeah.
work with a lot of people, maybe, because it does offer so much, and $2,400 is a lot of money. So taking it step by step, like at $1,500 now, and then $1,000 later.
You
that
know,
doesn't sound too bad.
there's somebody out there that probably spends $8,000 a year on VR hardware. and it's like, I got $8,000 a year. Yeah, it's a ton of money. It's a ton of money, but this is my effing life, you know? And this is the most
of course.
important thing to me. And I want to be in some bomb ass VR worlds that look incredible, bro. So yeah, I'm buying the 3090 and I'm buying the Aero and whatever.
Well, that's true. People spend thousands of dollars on hobbies every year.
Of
Everybody
course.
has their own
That is
hobbies.
me. I'm right here.
Yeah, me
I
too.
do that.
No, really, absolutely.
So whether it's
That's
VR
exactly what
or
that's what the Aero's for. That's what this Pimax is for. You know,
if you knew that you could buy one of these headsets and it would literally like be the dream come true for you for like 4 years in a row and you wouldn't be tempted by any other headset out there, I'd pay $2,000 myself too. But I know that's not possible.
We don't know that.
Right. And then again, really like next year, if it really comes out in 2022, in the end of 2022, probably there's exactly just like Anthony said, there's some Meta headset, the Quest 3 or whatever, and there could be like an Aero 2, and most probably, in my opinion, this headset is going to come out in 2023, and at that time, for sure, there's going to be the Aero 2, right, or the next G3 from Reverb. This might even come earlier, right? And who knows what kind of panels they have and lenses.
Yeah.
So that's really going to be very, very interesting. And I'm excited that they work on something like this, and I root for them. Just hope that they're going to make it happen. Wow. Yeah, let's see. 99 votes. And we have
100. Make it 100.
Exactly.
Someone else vote.
So we need one more vote here to get to the 100 votes here. So far, we have 9% who say yes. We're going to go. 9% are going to
I'm not
buy.
surprised after the conversation we've
people.
had, though. To be honest,
Exactly. 9% are going for the AKX now and going for the trade-in. 48 say no, but still 40% will wait for CES. So 40% at least give them a chance and would probably buy the 8KX in order to trade it in. But this offer is also like limited. I think 12 months before it comes out, you have to own it. So they want you to get it now without proof. You know?
Yeah.
They want you to blindly follow them.
It's a perfect marketing tool. I mean, it's
but
genius.
It
works probably, but
yes, but like I said before, I agree with you. But I also think it can fire back like in a bad way, right?
It leaves like a bad aftertaste for some reason. Like, get it.
Well, they
now.
got to have the supply when it comes down to the end. They have to, because if like all the people that buy these 8KXs are like still waiting around, but other people are just ordering the 12K and they're getting it. Oh my God, that would be such a disaster. And it's happened before.
Yeah, exactly. So 133 people have voted. Now is your last chance to vote. And then I'm going to stop the vote. And then we're going
Can I vote as well?
Yeah, of course you can vote.
Yeah, I'll vote then. There we go.
Great. Then I will wait until you vote. And then
Yeah,
I'm going to... Okay. Then I'm going to end the poll and we're going to go to the metaverse.
Enter the metaverse.
Don't say it like that.
Enter the Spideyverse.
So, will you go for the trade-in offer and buy the AKX now? No, 49%. I will wait for CS, 38%. And yes, 11%. So still like 11% of the people who joined that vote here said, yes, okay, I'm going for the AKX now. And they're trusting it, right?
Oh, Pimax USA just jumped into chat.
12 months after, not before. Okay. So what does it mean, 12 months after?
After what?
12 months after you bought? Oh, you mean 12 months after you have bought the AKX, you can still refund it fully for the 12K QLED. Okay, then this is not then this is good, I would say, in my opinion. Okay, after you ship. Okay, after you ship, still 12 months in order to exchange your 8KX for the 12K QLED. Okay.
Okay.
That is cool. All right, that sounds better. That sounds better. So you will have already the reviews out then. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's very good information. And yeah, in general, I think this kind of information, like when exactly you can use these things, they also should be on the website. It would be great to have like the full picture.
I think this
Right.
could be a little bit confusing because I've heard these different versions of what the
Yeah, me
12
too.
months means.
And,
And this is actually the proof, the fact that we misunderstood that
yeah,
a
you see,
little
that's
bit.
it's good to have Kevin here. And then Kevin, now that you're here, I'm not going to ask you to join now. If you want, of course, you can. but again, like I now forgot my question. It was so good. It's such a question. The question. What was the question? Do you have any question for Kevin? Because now.
The built-in battery. If is there like a minute of built-in battery or something?
Oh no, I have a better one. And the question, yeah, the battery, of course, was one question. But the trade-in program, do you have to send back your 8KX, or can you simply keep your 8KX and get the money? Because I think this was still not sure.
Whether we actually send it back and we
Exactly. Do you have to
receive this
do you
offer.
do exactly? Do you have to trade it in
Yeah, that's what
and
I
like
believe.
send it back, or and there
Yeah,
was
send it
another
back.
version, and there was another
Just
version that
get
I heard,
credit.
like you can keep it, and you have just to prove that you bought it, and you will still get the discount on the new one. I think this one.
30 seconds to swap the battery. That's how much you get.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
okay.
30
In
seconds.
30
That
seconds
makes
you can
sense.
do
Cool,
it.
cool.
In 30 seconds you can do it.
Yeah.
So, do we get to keep the 8KX and still get the discount, or do we have to send it back? That would be my question for Kevin. And if you could answer that, that would be amazing, because that is like a huge question, right?
Yeah, it is important, like for people to this trade-in program, like it's a big decision. So these little
Right.
details matter for consumers.
You know what they should do is like you just buy the 12K now and they send you an 8KX. And meanwhile, you know, you just pay the full price for the 12K now and they just send you the 8K.
Yeah, but then you're
Yeah.
committing to the 12K. What if
Yeah, right.
you know? At least you're buying something you know
For
what
them,
you're
they could have
buying.
did it.
Right. Still determining the rules of the credit. Okay, because let me just put it here. Okay. Still determining rules for the credit because team members started mentioning very difficult to ship locations like Brazil, Russia, etc. Okay, yeah, this will be important, right? I mean, you need to know like how
We'll
to.
probably get more info at CES, probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, Kevin, I'm looking forward to go to CES and try that and tell the world about the device. I'm absolutely looking forward to that, and that should be like the most exciting thing happening on CES, I believe. That would be
January
great.
5th through 7th, something like that.
Yeah, January, some early January, exactly. I have to check it out.
It's always been that difficult thing to achieve, isn't it? We all either have a headset with amazing clarity, or amazing field of view, and to have a headset with both still does not exist right now. So that's what I really am hoping for.
The 12k QLED, probably. Like,
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yes, we'll see. Exciting stuff going on. So, Kevin, again, in my opinion, this was the most exciting event in VR land in this year. So that one, that was really cool. That was well done. Okay, cool. So we still have some other topics to talk about, I believe. So many, it's crazy. So let's start and talk about Facebook Connect. We all were 100% sure there's going to be the Quest Pro. We had seen all the leaks, right? All the leaks with that cool device that looked very exciting, and we were so sure. We're going to get it. But we tuned in, of course, we all watched it, and then it was just like talking about the metaverse, looking at some CGIs, and well, it was not really about any device, right? So I must say, I was really bored. I was thinking like, oh my God, what's going on? Like show us the device. Show us the Quest Pro. I think everyone was like this, right? Tetiana, did you also feel like this when you watched it?
Yes, exactly. And I kind of thinking, so there's so many YouTubers who were streaming it live. I don't know if you were, Sebastian.
No, I did not.
And I wonder, oh my goodness, how much they had to fill in like, with the discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
It was probably quite daunting to sit through it and like keep the conversations when there was literally Well, nothing
Nothing.
exciting to actually like discuss in a live stream, so I felt bad for that. Kind of glad I didn't do it.
Yeah, me too.
But we were all hoping
Exactly,
for,
me
you know,
too.
the bomb to drop at the end.
No
which
bombs
it,
dropped.
well,
I mean, no
it
hardware.
depends
No
on
hardware
how you
bombs.
define a bomb. Yeah, not
Of
the hardware
course.
bomb.
For
We got a bomb.
Oculus,
We got one
for
bomb. We
Oculus,
got
that's
one
a
nice
huge
little
bomb. It's
Yeah.
dead. They killed Oculus dead. How Anthony would say. Anthony, what were your thoughts when you watched the thing? Did you also feel like us, like Tetiana and me, like, okay, wow, that's boring?
You know, so I had mixed reactions because there's the VR side of me of like a VR gamer. There's my VR gamer reactions to it, and then there's like just my overall reality reactions to it. And so my VR gamer reactions, yeah, it was disappointing. Like we didn't. But the thing is, everybody like wants this new headset, right? So after they did the Connect, and then there was going to be the John Carmack talk, and I was like waiting for the John Carmack talk, and I was in chat on YouTube, and everybody's like, is he going to talk about the new headset? Is he going to talk about the new Quest Pro, Quest Pro, Quest Pro? And part of me is like, wait a minute, do you guys really want a brand new headset every single year? Like eventually this stuff is going to start making your previous headsets obsolete. And you're going to get to a point where it's like, hey, I just bought a headset last year and now you just kill my headset. Didn't Bosworth, like he was asked, you know, not this year. Like he said that, not this year about the Quest Pro. And so they really stuck with that. So we didn't get a new headset this year. And so everybody was disappointed because they didn't get like juicy details about this new headset and what's capable of it. But there's no way they could give you that, because if they gave you that, then why would you be buying a Quest 2 unless they said, hey, everybody, if you buy a Quest 2 now, you get to refund it off your Cambria. Okay. No, so they weren't going to do the Pimax thing. So they're not going to talk about that. They're going to be kind of quiet about that. They don't want to drum up too much enthusiasm about Cambria. So they're going to focus on, you know, what we have right now. So, but overall, in terms of like, the overall presentation, it was very Magic Leap-esque. I will admit
You're
that.
right.
That was very funny how like all their little videos that they were showing like people being like people playing basketball. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, I'm going to go down to the park, bro, and I'm going to play basketball with my AR glasses, my Ray-Ban AR glasses, and I'm going to pretend that I'm bouncing a real ball and I'm going to pass it to this guy. And we're going to be playing with 3 blue ghosts that are all, you know, they're like in Europe somewhere, and we're playing basketball together in real life. Like they're like way off on another level, bro, with this whole metaverse thing. And I'm kind of glad about it in a way, because it's really forcing the issue. But they really are living like 15 years into the future. And so it's a really weird topic. We can go all kinds of directions on this one.
Right. It was crazy. We're going to talk about the whole metaverse shift very soon. But I also want to ask Steve, when you watched the show, what were your thoughts?
Oh, I was so hyped when it first came on, and I gradually just got more and more depressed. I tried to count how many times they were saying the word metaverse. I just lost count, literally. But having said that, I've just got to, you know, I'm actually really relieved they did not announce a true like successor to the Quest or anything like that. We don't need that right now. So I'm really pleased that didn't happen personally. But I don't think they needed to go into so much detail for what was an hour and a half, showing all these different segments. Now, I do appreciate, though, that there may be some people watching this for the first time. This may be their first, I'll say Facebook Connect, whatever it's called these days. And they might not understand what the metaverse is or where the VR vision is. We do. We want that Ready Player One future, but some people might not even understand what they want in VR.
Most people will not get it. Like I can see it here in the German mainstream media. They think, well, what is this? This is like a joke. They don't get it.
But you know what's good, though?
The general public doesn't understand what's going on.
It's forcing, but it's forcing them to think about it. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, hence why this presentation was the way it was. But I didn't like how in all those presentations and all those sort of examples, there was no one was wearing any VR headsets or anything. It was very sort of strange.
Well, they had the glasses though, bro.
Some of them were having glasses.
The Ray-Bans.
Yeah, it was just like Anthony said. It was very Magic Leap-esque, or how do you say that? Yeah, exactly. Like it's a vision. It was a vision. I believe it's going to be like this.
Hey,
I believe
wait a
it's
minute.
exactly going to be like this, but not
When
in
we
the next
guys
few years.
when they showed all these amazing trailers of like Zuck surfing and stuff with his buddy, and like how they showed all that stuff, right? But was there any little fine print on the bottom that said this current metaverse is not currently possible yet, but this is what we hope it looks like? I mean, like, was there like some kind of a disclaimer?
No, it just reminded me of the whale from Magic Leap. There was coming out of that pool, right? And everybody's like, "Wow, there's a whale!" It never happened. The whale never jumped out of that pool, but it is going to happen. And that vision that he had there, I'm sure it's going to happen. But it was a vision right now.
But isn't this
and
what
the
we
whole
really
thing
want?
was about vision, right? The whole thing was vision.
This is what we want, though. We all want this. Maybe not from that company, but someone
Right.
has to do it. Someone has to make this future happen, and
Yeah.
maybe it's them. No one else is going to be able to pour hundreds of millions of pounds into investment, to get this to happen.
Right.
Doesn't it seem like they're really early to be talking? I mean, I know the name change thing and like all the controversy that they're dealing with. So the timing, maybe they rushed the name change. Like maybe the meta and all of that, maybe that was going to happen like 7-8 months from now, but because of all the drama that they're going through with like whistleblowers and all that stuff,
right.
they think this is a great way to kind of like twist the narrative a little bit and get people off track a little bit. Because it seems like
it's gonna work.
To talk about the metaverse right now, like the metaverse is like 3 years away. It's not, man. Like the advanced Facebook avatars, though, that's what people don't realize. If they are able to actually make those advanced avatars happen. And there was one segment of the show where they had the main guy from Pittsburgh Facebook Reality Labs, and it was showing his full entire body, and it was showing this other lady, she was in VR and she was seeing him talk and stuff. And they were like, on this side, she's watching this guy talk full body, because the full body avatar, that is the game changer. Full body realistic avatars. And all these little simulated videos that they showed, they had people that looked like they were coming out of Tron. They were kind of like blue colored and stuff, but they were hyper realistic. And if we can get to a reality where it really does look like that, then I do believe, like, how you were saying the German media is like, what is this metaverse? Like, what is this dumb thing? Well, those people will be eating major crow if these real life avatars are true.
It's going to happen in the future, for sure. So I think this is, of course, like a visionary direction from Facebook, and I simply think that Facebook, they don't want to miss on the next big thing, because they did miss the whole mobile game, right? They are dependent on Google and Apple for their mobile client, right? This is like a big problem for them. And they just want to push it hard, the next spatial computing platform, the next paradigm shift. And this Facebook Connect just shows, okay, we're putting it all in. We're putting everything on the metaverse, and we do not want to miss the next big thing, right? Just like they missed mobile. So in my opinion, it does make sense to move away from Facebook, and also this name change, and to just show, yes, we are the company that is going to be the metaverse company. So in my opinion, it is a smart move. Also, what I think is remarkable is that Mark Zuckerberg actually finally admits that the whole Facebook thing has a bad name to it. I don't know how else to explain it. Like it has a bad connotation, right? For the Quest 2, he still wanted to push it, but he found out himself, hey, that was wrong. It was wrong to do the forced Facebook login. He has watched MRTV like every day, and he thought, like, oh no, this Sebastian, he will not shut up. He will not shut up.
I need to win these people over.
Right. He will not.
I actually personally asked him myself, so we just didn't talk about it anymore. So I'm so pleased to win for me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I think is going to happen with that, though? Like the whole Facebook account thing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they're going to like completely drop that.
No, I think they will. I think they will. They said they will. We're going to talk about this in a moment as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll wait for it.
Yeah, yeah. But like I just want to say, so I think I think this is good in general that he understands now that Facebook is not something that people want to have on their heads all the time, and that he kind of gets away from this point.
But
And
don't you think it's
yeah,
going to be the same thing all over again? I mean, it's
yep,
a
could,
name in the
yes,
base. I mean,
I
people are
totally
getting so
agree.
stoked about
Th-
disconnecting the Facebook account, but
Right.
it doesn't mean that there's not going to be
I
an
I
account.
totally agree with you. So this is 100%, and that's a super interesting question. It's a super exciting thing to talk about, and just about this we could talk about 2 hours because what the question is. So we will probably have a meta account. That makes sense. So the Quest can then again be sold in Germany because in Germany they didn't sell it because it was questionable that they're forcing you with Facebook, right? But if it's a Meta hardware and you have a Meta account, absolutely no problem at all. The question on the long run will be, what is the business model of the metaverse? That is really the question. Is it the same business model that Facebook has? So is it about like knowing what people do in VR and in the metaverse, and then because you know everyone exactly, you know everyone unbelievably well because you know who are their friends,
Yes.
who are they talking to, what are they looking at? Is this going to be the business model of the metaverse? If yes, then of course it's exactly the same thing like Facebook. They will know us. They will have profiles of us.
I was going to say the same
But
thing.
And
it's
then
all they've
they're
ever
going to show us
done.
ads.
It's all
What?
they've ever done. How can we expect
Yeah.
them to do anything different?
Right. Right.
If this is their success formula,
Right.
they already
Right.
know how to run that type of a business just
That's
because
the
they're
only thing
changing
they
it to
know.
Meta. Why would they do anything different if that works?
Is there a
for
problem
them?
with this? Is there a problem with this, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, there is, of course. It's the same problem like before. Probably you don't want an entity to know everything about you and probably be misused. Probably this information might be misused. Probably right now we trust
Then
Facebook.
you don't
that
want a technologically advanced future with
I-
civilization because they
no,
come hand
but
in hand.
no, that is so sad to say, Anthony. This means like
That's true, bro.
like I'm giving up my personal rights just to have technological advance. No, I don't think that is right. And I've been waiting for these discussions. Good that you're back.
Okay, but can I tell you one little tricky thing that was buried within all of this that I was like, yeah, I knew it. Okay, so at one point in this conference, they were talking about your avatars, right? And they were saying that, and we've got to protect your avatars so that somebody can't use your avatar and be your, somebody can't like hack your avatar because your avatar is important. It's gonna follow you here and follow you there. Well, guess what? They've got a special way to know that it's your avatar. Here's how they know. Oh, well, we can use the advanced capabilities of the body tracking of Project Cambria to recognize your
For
gait
example.
and to determine your gait, but like how you actually move as a human being. So they're literally, any person that puts on this headset, they're going to know who they are, even if you do opt out of any kind of tracking of any kind or whatever, or opt out of any kind of because they're going to know just based on your gait, and they're doing it to protect you.
Yeah, of
They
course.
have to protect your avatar because it might get hacked. So this is how it won't get hacked. They'll know it's you, and they'll also be able to track everything else you're doing at the exact same time.
Yeah, of course. But Anthony, I just want to say one more thing about if you want technological advancement, then you simply have to give up your privacy and everything. I totally disagree. And there is like a different model. There's a different model for the metaverse, which is like private, which is like not centralized, but decentralized and based on blockchain. And you know who is now going to be one of the players who play against Zuckerberg? The Winklevoss twins, can you remember those guys?
Gemini, baby.
The Gemini, exactly. The guys who first made Facebook, or who claim they had it first, the idea, and then it was copied by Mark Zuckerberg. Well, I could now believe it now that we see the track record. Anyways, that's an old story. Yeah. But the Winklevoss brothers, they have just now invested in Somnium Space, a blockchain-based metaverse. And I talked about Somnium Space on my channel quite a bit before, right? It was like I purchased my first piece of virtual land like 3 years ago. And now it has increased in price like tenfold, and I'm frigging rich now.
Oh shit!
I'm just kidding you. But actually it did increase in price like tenfold or so. Really, really amazing. And the Winklevoss brothers are now advisors on Somnium Space. They have invested in Somnium Space, and they want to build the metaverse, which is based on blockchain, which is private, which runs decentralized, and there is another way to do this. So this is absolutely incredible, and check it out. Check out the news. Somnium Space now has advisors, the Winklevoss brothers. They have invested, and since this news is out, Cube, the Somnium Space ERC18 token, their blockchain token, right, their coin, it went from $2 to right now $15. So if you were invested in Somnium Space, like buying their land or having those cubes, you have just made like a fortune because the price has quadrupled and times so many times. Yeah. So check out Somnium Space. It's frigging hot right now. Yeah, it is like this, really. It is like this. It is absolutely fantastic that they have the Winklevoss brothers now as advisors.
But what are you talking about, dude? Facebook built the metaverse, man. They're called Meta. They invented the metaverse. Like, they solved it, man. It's all done.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy that they claim the name Meta. It's
right.
kind of insane.
Yeah, but maybe it won't be called the metaverse after all. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Imagine that. We could call it anything we want to, really.
Yeah,
just
right.
But
hey guys, can I talk for a quick second though about the
course.
name change and the metaverse thing?
And also talk about that the brand Oculus is gone. That's the next topic. That's the next topic.
Yeah, but first I just want to talk about primarily the name change. Facebook is now Meta, okay, and the metaverse is their thing. So they are a metaverse company, and this is not a tiny thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely huge for the entire VR industry at large, VR and AR for what we're into. Dude, we just went prime time. What people don't get, and I was talking about this before we started the show, I was saying, I think the most interesting, the biggest story of this entire week is not like Project Cambria and all this stuff and like the 12K and all of that. All of that is great. But the biggest news this week is the name change to Meta and the entire metaverse thing. Do you know that just this morning, I was watching my network TV show, my network channel, which like covers the local news and tells you like if it's going to rain and stuff, right? I was watching them and they had a little business update. And what were they talking about? The metaverse. And there's people that were on this broadcast that were like, what is the metaverse? The metaverse? What is that? And that is happening all over the world right now. All these news organizations, everybody has to cover this. Like, I'm really into the stock market. And in this one stock market forum that I'm on, people are asking this question: what is the metaverse? How do we invest in the metaverse? This is a thing now. Rising tides lifts all boats. Do you know that on Thursday, when this information came out, like every stock that was mildly related to VR popped like 20-something%, because this is a thing. Now people have to be like, oh shit, the metaverse. This is a thing. What is Google doing about the metaverse? What is Apple doing about the metaverse? What is Microsoft doing about the metaverse? Now, all of these companies are already involved deeply, and they're working hard on all of this, and they're going to have their say about this thing as well. But it's just beautiful that this thing has been forced into a public consciousness. And it's crazy to me. Like my mind is blown just watching all of this happen, because it's happening way too early. This is way ahead of schedule, ladies. And just like this whole, Facebook is converting to the metaverse.
Right.
Like, here's what I want to know. I want to know, like, what is going on in the Facebook boardrooms, and what were the other people saying? Like, excuse me, Mark, wait a minute. are you leading our entire company off a freaking cliff here with this metaverse thing? We're jumping 100% into the metaverse, possibly 15 years too early. We're nowhere. This is like Magic Leap coming out and saying they're going to have like magic space, or well, what do they call it? That the magic verse, like the magic verse or whatever, and they're going to like totally map the entire planet Earth and have it spatial and all that. It's like, yeah, maybe in 9-10 years you're going to be able to do that. And that's what Facebook is doing with all this metaverse thing. But everybody's going along with it. Everybody's buying into it, which is great. Because it's raising up the profile of VR and AR tremendously, maybe too much. Like maybe it's going to make VR and AR seem like way better than it really is. It's causing all this discussion. It is freaking incredible.
Okay, but I really don't believe that this discussion is going to keep on going for the next few months. I think in a few weeks this is over and nobody's going to talk about the metaverse again because it's just too early. Then people will talk about, I don't know, the next iPhone again and stuff. It's so far away. I don't believe that now we're going to talk about the metaverse all the time now. Don't you? What do you think, Tetiana?
I agree with that. It's not going to be like, it's not like this is single-handedly saved VR and AR forever or anything like that. But it has raised it into the public consciousness. And you're right. A month from now, everybody's going to forget about this. But there's a lot of companies, like we talked about, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AMD. There's a lot of these companies that might be like, holy snaps. Facebook just basically is all in. Like they are all in. Like the chips are in. Like that's one thing we can say with absolute certainty. Facebook is all in. We used to think they were all in, but now we know they're all in. And all these other companies are like, man, maybe we should like double our investment because these fools just went all in. So now maybe we need to double up.
And strangely enough, it's kind of similar to what, scaled up version of what Pimax did. Promised us all these things. This is going to be incredible. Just you wait, and you will see. But
it will be incredible. It's just going to take time.
It is even more ambitious than that, of course, because eventually, it's going to change our lives, not just as VR enthusiasts, but ours as internet users. It's at least based on those dreams, Zuck's dreams that he showed us in these beautifully 3D rendered videos, it is going to be quite incredible. It's like they showed a glimpse, a little bit of everything. They didn't really go into depth about anything. And that's what was, I guess, confusing for more, the critical thinkers, people who wanted to meet something that's more like solid. I try to think, okay, what should I talk about? What should I comment on? There are so many things, but there was nothing not one topic that was discussed really in depth enough to actually show for in the nearest future. Maybe this project Cambria, but still, there's only so many things we know. I thought it was also interesting that some of these, images and videos they showed, some people wear completely 3D avatars. Some of them were wearing glasses, and some of them weren't wearing anything. So it's like a complete unification of these modes, VR, AR, and just your phone, I guess. So maybe this is the part of
phones.
what this...
Phones are dead. We are in the metaverse. Come on.
But this is what metaverse is going to be. The division between the reality and the virtual reality will be completely blurred out. You'll be able to hang out with people in VR while you're sitting, wearing your just regular Ray-Ban or whatever glasses, go to these concert venues, work out together, send videos. And then when you send this video, the person can jump inside the video and play with your dog or with something. So
it's
this
just
is
Ready Player One.
So it's not even Oasis. The Oasis from Ready Player One is just
IOI.
virtual reality. This is a mess. That's a complete mess of everything, the real life and the virtual.
Yeah.
So it's
but if they're able
to
have those advanced avatars, if those advanced avatars are real, it pulls this whole thing together. I think that's the thing that seals the deal. Because I was in this one thread and people were talking about it. This guy's like I have no interest in being like a cartoon avatar. So if these things are cartoony, I have no freaking interest. And replied to the guy and I said, you know, you should check out their advanced avatars, because if the advanced avatar thing becomes real, then people that don't see, there's people out there, they don't care about video gaming. They have no interest in video gaming, but they do have interest in seeing like cousin Bob look freaking photo real standing right there in your living room like Princess Leia in Star Wars 1. And that's, you know, that's what we're going to have if these advanced avatars are real. So for me, it's like the bottom line is, are these advanced avatars real, and are they coming in the next 3 years? Because if they are, then congratulations, Facebook. You got beachfront property and you are in the lead, baby.
I think they will come. These with face tracking and everything. Even now, they have really great avatars which open their mouth based on the audio that the AI hears, right? And it's so good. And then with face tracking, oh my goodness, this is going to be fantastic. Anyways, I'm wondering, this shift to Meta and killing off the Oculus brand, does this mean that they don't want to be known as a gaming company, as a VR gaming company? Because Oculus, we love it. Oculus, the brand, it's a beautiful brand in my opinion. I have like lots of memories because it's the beginning of VR. The beginning of VR as we know it, right? We joined the Kickstarter. We saw how Palmer made everything and how it grew. And wow, it was like a love story that we joined. We were part of it. We enthusiasts. And it was positive emotions for me. Even though it was bought up by Facebook, I still like that Oculus brand. And now killing it off, do you see it as like killing it off because Oculus stood more for this gaming only, but Meta wants to be everything, like the metaverse, the Oasis? Is that the reason?
They did say about, like, you know, they've got 5 games planned with is it the Arizona Sunshine people?
Yeah, but this is now. I mean, this is now on the long run. Why did they kill off Oculus?
Oh yeah. Sorry, but I'm just thinking, in terms of gaming, really.
I kind of think that I feel the same way. I think that they are trying to distance themselves from this association, which was very pleasant for a lot of people. That was actually the saving grace for Facebook, that there is now a way for them to move away, you know, for people who are not digging deep enough to see that Oculus and Facebook is now the same thing. Having this warm and fuzzy associations with Oculus and all the 8 or almost 9 years that they've been on the way to becoming these providers of VR to regular consumers. And now this is really, I mean, it's sad because there is this great sentimental value to Oculus. It's like they're taking away a piece of history. Like they really are. And it was
always going to happen though, wasn't it? We shouldn't be surprised by it.
It's better than Facebook VR. We would have had Facebook VR.
Of course.
That sounds worse.
Could it? Sorry.
That would lose a lot of customers, I think, if it was just because of that.
I would go totally crazy, but yeah. But is it probably also a bit of ego from Mark, probably? Because Oculus is still so connected to Palmer Luckey, and Palmer is somehow seen as the inventor of VR. Probably now, Mark wants to be seen as the inventor of the metaverse. Like, he's the guy. Not forget Oculus, forget Palmer. He is now the guy who makes
the visionary.
He's the visionary. He's the guy who has the vision and makes the metaverse a reality. Could this also play a bit into it?
Well,
like
he's
ego?
He is, yeah. He is the guy.
He is the guy, right?
He's distancing himself from Oculus, but also from Facebook. So he's trying to do like this a win-win situation when, yes, he is building up something new that's attached to his name, but not attached to Facebook, which is weird, right? Because it's still the same guy. We can't expect something completely different from the same person who kind of created all this mess in the first place. But weirdly enough, it might work because this meta thing is just so ginormous and so all-encompassing that you can't really associate it with one single thing, neither Oculus nor Facebook nor all the other apps that would go inside it. So yeah, it's definitely going to be just Mark, his creation. He's the meta god of this metaverse.
Yeah.
Nobody would say no to him either. Nobody said no. Nobody said, Mark, this is 10 years too early. You're crazy. Yeah, they let him run wild.
Yeah, because he is the guy who can do all the decisions, right? There's nobody to rule him in. He has the power. He is the meta god king. Yeah, it is like this. Come on, it is like
meta
this.
God in the metaverse. Exactly.
Yeah, right. I'm
so
wondering.
meta,
this whole meta thing, it feels so emotionless for me, so clinical somehow, like the Meta Quest, for example. Like Oculus, we have all these emotions, right? We have the good feelings. Okay, VR, cool, amazing, and playing the games and all. But Meta, it for me, it feels so clinical. You know what I mean?
Because it's a clear slate. There's no associations with that at all. It's clean. They are going to build on top of it, so we will have emotions. What kind of emotions they will be, I don't know. But Meta doesn't have this history that we've had with Oculus, that we've had with Facebook. We have everything. So it's like I said, they're building something completely unattached to anything. And right now, we're all super emotional, but also emotionless at the same time, which is a weird feeling because something big is happening. This biggest ever rebranding of this company that we've ever seen, and at the same
That
time,
name,
we don't know what to expect.
having that name, Meta, and Meta is the name of Facebook. Meta is the name of this company that owns Facebook. They own Instagram. They own WhatsApp. They own Oculus, etc. Right? But having that as that name, that is like a subconscious thing that is out there in the world that is letting the entire world know this metaverse thing is an important thing. It is coming in the future. It is coming for that ass. You're going to have to deal with it one way or the other. Some people are going to make money off this thing. Some people aren't. Some people are going to control this thing. Some people aren't. And it's letting everybody know. Now, it could possibly be a failure. I personally believe that the VR and AR trains have left the station, and you can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle. It's a done deal. VR and AR is going to succeed. There's no stopping it. It's just a matter of when, why, how much, and how is it going to happen. But it's going to happen, period, dot. And so I believe in what they're doing here with this idea. But it's great from a subconscious standpoint of letting the entire world. Facebook is a $1 trillion. Well, they were their stock's down a little bit, but they were a $1 trillion company. There's only like 7 or 8 $1 trillion companies on planet Earth. They're one of them. Them changing their name to Meta and having Metaverse be this big thing, I really do believe this is going to be great for all of us in the entire VR world. And it's a great thing, Sebastian, that you named your channel Meta TV. No, just kidding.
You're right, exactly. Yeah, I can be now the first fanboy, right? So I didn't jump on the Oculus train, but now Meta. Yes.
Think about all the YouTubers who have
MetaQuest.
Oculus in their name. Like Dr. Oculus, gone.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
Dr. Meta now. I'm
Yeah.
glad my
Yeah.
channel doesn't have like the Quest, but I was thinking about it when I was creating it. I'm glad I didn't, but it's there's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I'm really also wondering, like all the channels who so banked on that Oculus, like following
Brand,
on the Oculus brand, exactly, and like who really loved the brand and made lots of content about it. Can they follow this then? Can they
Lots
now
of video
like?
renaming.
Can
Hundreds
they?
and hundreds of videos to be renamed.
Yeah. Yes.
This transition is gonna take a while, and like I know you were saying, like this name is kind of weird, and we're throwing away the name Oculus. But the thing is like I just present to you the name Nintendo Wii. Remember when we first heard the word Nintendo Wii? And now it's the most normal thing in the world, Nintendo Wii. It's no big deal. Like people could say Nintendo Wii. But when we first heard Nintendo Wii, it was so wrong. And MetaQuest sounds very wrong. And I do believe that they will drop the Quest name because MetaQuest does not go together very nicely. So I do believe that Project Cambria, it's going to be a new line because they're dumping the Quest name.
Yeah, of course. Wow. Oh my goodness. We have already 2 hours and 13 and we haven't even talked about the topics really actually. So let's start a bit to talk about now the topics. Because we could talk about this rebranding like even 1 more hour, but we don't have that hour. Okay, I think the biggest announcement of whole Facebook Meta Connect was this year, for us at least. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like an amazing title, an amazing Grand Theft Auto title from 2004. is going to come out on the Quest 2. We have not yet heard when it's going to happen. We haven't seen any kind of footage. We have no idea. The only thing we know, they will launch Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the Quest 2. And I would like to ask Anthony, what are your thoughts about this? Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, when this was announced, tears came out of my eyes. I'm not, or at least I watered up and was like, I mean, sometimes when you watch like an E3 show or something, you're waiting for like Microsoft's E3 or PlayStation or something, and it's like there's gonna be these announcements that'll actually send shivers, down your arms a little bit. And I got that with San Andreas because it is like, when we think about VR and we think about a game like this, it's absolutely perfect. And you just said like it came out in 2004, right? And the timing of that, this is not an accident. There's a reason that San Andreas is the one that we're getting. There's a reason that we got Resident Evil 4 on the Quest 2. It's because what the XR2 can handle, it can handle that era polygonal representations. Now, here's my biggest worry that, like, first of all, I'm over the moon for this. And even if this port is kind of garbage, it's still going to be incredible. And it's just going to do so much for VR in general, just to be able to walk around in the world of San Andreas and have cars driving by and planes flying overhead and just you're in that world. It's amazing, man. But here's my biggest worry, though. I go back to Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Like Fallout 4 and Skyrim, those were the dreams of all dreams. It's like, dude, Fallout 4 in VR, Skyrim in VR, this is going to change the entire world. This is the freaking, what do they call it? This is the killer app. This is the killer app. We finally have our killer app, right? But what happened with Fallout 4 and Skyrim is those games work in VR. They're very impressive, but they weren't completely redesigned from scratch for VR. So you didn't quite get the feeling. You walk into a Fallout 4 room, you couldn't open up the dresser drawer. You couldn't pick up the stapler and move it around. And I don't think we're going to get that either. And so I'm wondering, what are we going to really get out of this thing? But if you go way back into the days when like Oculus said they have $300 million that they're going to be investing in new games, and they gave $10 million to Epic for Robo Recall, and they gave this much to this company, and they gave this much to Insomniac for Stormland. An argument could have been made back then that they should have taken $100 million and said, Rockstar, Strauss Zelnick, sit down, let's have a chat. Bro, $100 million. But here's what you got to do. You can't just give us San Andreas that is like scrapped with a few little VR niceties here and there. No, you got to rebuild the entire thing so that it's totally VR. And that's a whole different world. We're probably not going to get that. But God damn it, we're getting San Andreas in VR. It's still amazing.
I actually think that we might be getting that, Anthony. I kind of optimistic about it because they've been working with those devs for years now. I mean, this is the first time we hear about it, but the work's been going on for years, and I don't know, 3 years they've been working on it. And even now they are not announcing the date when it's going to be released, which means that they just wanted to tease us, and they're obviously still working on it to bring it to the level that's ready for the consumers to play.
Agreed.
So it is taking a while. Actually, if we're talking about an old game like this, San Andreas is like, oof. I played it. I think I don't know. It was weird that I liked it, but I freaking loved it. I don't know why. Learning about thug life when I was 10 years old, it's priceless.
It's Boys in the Hood. It's Boys in the Hood interactive.
But it is really taking them a while to do it, and I think that it is going to be amazing. I think they're going to bring it to that level, and it's another port again, not a port, but like Resident Evil 4 has brought them so much in such a short time. GTA is going to bring them even more. I think there's a lot bigger population of PC gamers that are going to be so excited about it in VR.
Agreed. And this is really going to help VR. Like these big names, these big brands, right? Grand Theft Auto. And then finally to be in the game is the dream of so many people. And it's going to be very attainable, right? The Quest is so cheap, and then you can play this game. don't even need to use your Facebook login anymore. Yeah, come on. And this is really amazing. Really, I'm a big fan of this. And I agree with Tetiana. I also think they're going to nail it, right? GTA, Grand Theft Auto, is such an important IP for Rockstar Games. They cannot afford it to launch some half-baked stuff there. They're going to make a great port in VR. I'm sure it's going to blow us away, and I can't wait. What do you think, Steve? Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've got mixed feelings about it because let's be honest, if there was a GTA announcement for PC VR, my God, I would be like off the walls right now. And of course, I'm going to say that because that's obvious. But even for the Quest, I'm definitely going to buy it. I mean, everyone's going to buy this. I think it's going to be the metaverse that I'm interested in. I've got no interest at all in the metaverse.
The metaverse I want to live in.
Literally, shopping and going in the metaverse in VR is like the most pathetic thing I could imagine doing in my life personally. But gaming in VR, that's what I'm all about. And GTA, yeah, man, that would be amazing as long as they do it right. And I think, that XR2 chipset is going to be a struggle. It is going to be a struggle because it's all about those huge open areas, isn't it? It's about being able to go into a clothes shop, go into a bar, get into a bar fight, I don't know, nick a car, go, and the verticality of that scene as well. It's going to be hard for the Quest to be able to manage that. But Rockstar Games, they are awesome. And I think if anyone can do it, they can. And I'm excited about it.
But don't you think that they must change the game in terms of being safe for children and in general to be safe? Because, the game is like offensive, which is the fun part of it, right? Just to beat up some people and swear and stuff. And normally Oculus is more like they want games to be not like this, right? They want them to be more safe for children and stuff.
Yeah, but with GTA, dude, like you gotta just let it go. Now they might take a few of the some of the most extremely offensive things, like little snippets of like where it's like a cut scene that has something super offensive. Maybe they'll trim out a few of those things, but you can't water down all of San Andreas. I mean, dude, you turn on the radio and it's like gangsta, I mean, it's got cuss words everywhere. That's the world.
It has to be the real deal. Otherwise, what's the point? If you start censoring VR like that, that's not VR, is it? VR's got to be that true experience, and it's got to be the game.
It worries me too because even Resident Evil 4, I mean, I didn't even know there was anything.
Hot coffee VR,
game.
yeah, hot
and
coffee
apparently there were still some things that were cut out of this game for being too much something, and so after releasing that, stripped off of those little clips to announce San Andreas, that's the only concern I have, that it's going to be too washed off of the little peculiarities that maybe didn't age well to this day, but we still have like the sentimental
but people love
attachment.
That game.
People love it, but now it's going to be the Oculus exclusive, and we all know how strict they are about that content, how they show like family I don't know, just making family-friendly content in general. And GTA is not family-friendly game,
not at all.
Not at all. And
I guess that's it, isn't it? The Quest 2 is a family-friendly headset, isn't it? I guess it's a family headset. So yeah, they will probably water it down, but that is a shame, I think. But I understand why.
What about like the soundtracks and stuff? Will it have all the songs and everything? Because that's so critical, to the experience. Because sometimes years later they can't get the rights. Sometimes
the radio shows and everything, right?
Yeah.
When you cruise through it, I think it must be there for sure. It will be there.
God, dude, I'll spend like 100 hours in this game, and for me, you know what I'll do mostly? Walking around freaking neighborhoods on foot. Like that's right. I won't be in the cars very much.
Yeah. You're gonna buy that catwalk.
It has to deliver at least an authentic experience, and I hope. Do you think, Anthony, the Quest is capable of producing a really living, breathing world that we're hoping for? That's the question.
No, absolutely not. But it should still be pretty goddamn fun, and you'll get It's like anything in the Quest. You play something for 5 minutes. And you're not talking like you might be thinking about some of the graphical things in the first 5 minutes. But 8 minutes later, if it's a good game, you're just playing it, you're having fun, and I think that'll happen.
I think about Saints and Sinners and how amazing that port was. Well, not port, sorry, but the standalone experience on the Quest. What they did with that was absolutely amazing. If they can get that sort of level of fidelity, or even close to that, that would be very, very impressive.
Right. So we do get a new version of GDA, right? Like all the old parts for PC, and they kind of remodeled everything. Do you believe that this VR version is based on that new remodeled look, or do you think it's the old one?
It would make sense to have it remodeled just for the quality, but if we think about what Quest can and cannot do, that, I mean, it's up to them just to see what would work best with the gear. I think that they might go for the older model just if they want to create that open world that we were just talking about. The remodeled version that has the better quality textures and things might just be too much for the Quest to carry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, we have to see.
Yeah, Skiba just said actually that GTA, you can already play it on a mobile phone. I didn't realize that. That's kind of cool. So if there is a you know, I suppose, yeah, and imagine even a mobile phone, it's amazing what you can do nowadays in terms of gaming. Obviously, a VR game needs twice the power, but yeah, they could do it. And like, you know, you're right, Anthony, it's not all, as long as they are able to produce that believable experience, it doesn't matter if every texture looks perfect. It's just a case of being in a, you know, like, for instance, Cloudlands Golf, okay, a bit of a weird thing to say, but the graphics in that, okay, are terrible, but it doesn't matter because when I'm in that environment, especially with friends, it's just the most amazing feeling. Like that new map they've got with the windmills and everything. You look up and you're just seeing all that, and it looks amazing. So, yeah, as long as they're aware of how to maximize. I presume this will be a Quest 2 exclusive. I'm hoping it will be. So
it is.
Yeah,
it is. It will be.
Yeah, so at least they will be able to, you know.
So their chances this is going to be good.
You know what Tetiana was talking about in terms of like the remasters that are coming out right now. One thing that I that just dawned on me is I don't think they're going to use those versions because I think those versions will actually be too
look better, right?
Too intense. Like it'll be too hard for the Quest to do that. So I think it really wants to do the 2004 version because that'll work really good. That's why freaking Resident Evil 4 is on there, and because that's the perfect era. But I was just thinking, if somehow they are able to do these new versions, what if San Andreas is just the first that we're getting, and we're going to get Vice City?
Oh, come on. That would be great.
Yeah.
But
they're splitting them up so they can maximize profits.
Yeah, of course. Wow.
That would make sense because Vice City is more popular.
It's even older.
Yeah, it's actually more. San Andreas is the one I played, but Vice City would make more sense. Maybe they really didn't want to miss to risk this first time with a game as big as Vice City, so they're testing waters, see how it goes.
It was such a short little snippet, wasn't it? Like, it was almost like
it was the most important part for us gamers, though.
Like,
it's crazy.
There was just hardly any mention. There was, you know, we are doing games. You know, we've got investment in it, by the way, and we're going to be doing GTA. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Like, what? It was just like 10 seconds.
Here's 5 minutes about blood and sorcery, and then and we're also releasing GTA.
Yeah, it's like, how could you do that? Like, everybody
Blade and
wants
sorcery,
to
by the way, guys, looked pretty freaking good.
Exactly. Like, hopefully there's going to be lots to do in Blade and Sorcery, as in like more of a game that you can follow, not just like the sandbox mode, right? Have to find out about this one. But this is a great game, and the melee is fantastic. Anyways, is it everything that we got about GTA? I believe everyone is just happy to be in that world, right? I think everybody is excited about it. So this is really good. Okay, then let's talk about our last topic. There would be more topics, but I think we simply cannot take them all. So, Project Cambria. We all were so sure we're going to get the Quest Pro, right? With all the leaks and with everything, but no. This Facebook Connect was about the shift and the being all into the metaverse. However, they did show us and they did talk about this Quest Pro, which is not a Quest at all. In the end, it turns out that this is called Project Cambria. It is a high-end device that is going to come next year, but it is not going to be the next Quest. And it is more positioned as a high-end device that can do VR, obviously, and that is going to be compatible with the Quest. And that's really interesting to know to notice, right? It's compatible with the Quest, but it's its own line, and it has high-end color pass-through, so you can do mixed reality. And they were showing like how this mixed reality could work. And obviously, it did remind me of the Lynx, right? It's something like the Lynx, something where you can see your reality through this super high quality pass-through, color pass-through. Right now on the Quest, you have the black-white pass-through, but with color pass-through and being able to interact with things, with virtual things in your real life, that is pretty exciting. And so this is going to be more expensive than the Quest line. It is made so that the advanced technologies can trickle down to the Quest line and be available there for cheaper later. We do not know yet when the Cambria is going to hit exactly, but we do know that it is going to come out next year. And also really interesting, they're going to come out with pancake lenses. Now, these lenses are clear lenses, so there's no God rays at all. And now here on the screen, you can see how the setup is like. And also, when you increase or decrease the distance of the two lenses, you can make up for the diopter. You can have like a diopter adjustment. And I know that so well because, as I told you, I'm checking out the Vive Flow right now. It has exactly those lenses. It has exactly those pancake lenses, and you can adjust the diopter. And that is really, really amazing. So it's going to have exactly those pancake lenses, those clear lenses without any kind of God rays and whatever, and they can make this small form factor. So I would like to ask Tetiana, what were your thoughts when you heard about Project Cambria? Are you excited about it? And what is your take about this being compatible with Quest instead of like, okay, yeah, this is a Quest?
It's a good question, actually. I haven't, I've noticed that from the moment, like, compatible. They're not saying it's just next Quest or the next headset that they will have. It actually might have some kind of connection. But anyway, so when I was watching it, yes, we all probably thought that this is the headset that we saw in the leaks that were posted like maybe a couple of days before the Connect event. And all the YouTubers, including me, I'm guilty of that too, like posting those videos saying, is this the Quest 2 Pro or is this the Quest 3? So we were all like excited. And then never mind, kind of some content creators took a lot of like crap for not delivering on the promises, which is funny because we didn't really promise anything. But we are all kind of wrong about this one. And definitely this is not as exciting as the new Quest. And I think at the beginning of the show, Steve said that maybe this is good that there's no new generation of Quest like we see with like iPhones or all these smaller device technologies, because we're all happy with Quest pretty much as it is now. And there's still so many Quest exclusive that are coming out. There Resident Evil, there's hopefully going to be San Andreas. So why would they be pushing so much for these exclusive titles, really trying to elevate the Quest 2 for the regular consumer and then come up with this new generation? That wouldn't really make sense. So when I was watching this Connect event, I kind of had like 99% sure that there would be nothing released, but something would get announced. And I was hoping that whatever would be announced is the next generation, something we'll see next year, better than Quest. We will, buy it and test it. And we will still buy and test Cambria, but I don't know. I guess not disappointed. It's not the right word, but I wasn't as excited about Cambria as I would be about a consumer-focused headset.
Right.
Now, it did intrigue me that the specific word Zach used was compatible. And I don't think I have the answer to that, or any kind of like the suggestion of how it could work. But most probably, I don't know, maybe they're probably going to be some kind of a method of communication between the devices in a way that would make it more fluid, either with the apps that are going to be releasing on Quest, and those would be compatible with this Cambria. But specifically, because this headset will be more focused on mixed reality, maybe
Yes.
some of the experiences will be elevated to the AR mode, into the real
Yes.
world, while Quest isn't capable of doing that at the moment. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I'm sure that we'll get it and we'll try it when it's released.
course.
But I still think that most of the viewers are just going to sit tight and wait for the actual Quest generation. That's more
Because it's
exciting.
gonna be cheaper. Because this device is said to be like a more high-priced device,
High
probably
price.
$600, $700, $800. Who knows?
Yeah.
So that is probably not attainable for the general public. Anthony, what are your thoughts about Cambria? Are you excited about it, or just tell me what you think about it?
I mean, I'm always excited for a new headset, especially from Meta. I'm always excited about a new headset because of the potential for raising the bar, and like what level are we going to get to now? In terms of full color pass through, I've been banging that drum for a long time. I think it would be awesome. You put on a headset and you still see like your actual reality, like really
amazing.
clean and crisp. It's a great thing, you know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't discombobulate you. You give somebody a demo and you put them in and they're like, oh, I'm still in my room. But now I hit this button and there's AR things going on and I can go into VR. But one thing I'm curious about on this headset is like, I was watching Mike's stream at one point, Virtual Reality Oasis, when they were doing this and they were talking about Cambria and all that. And after it was over, like Mike was really poo-pooing the entire thing as this is not a consumer product at all. This is for enterprise. Like Cambria is 100% enterprise. And like I hadn't heard that before, and I'm not sure where he's getting that information, but some people seem to have this idea that Cambria, like we're not even going to be able to buy Cambria. Cambria is for enterprise.
You can buy it. No.
I don't.
Why would they announce it like that though on an event?
This is
well, they
not
didn't
for
say
enterprise.
anything very specific about it, though. They didn't say that it was a consumer. Like, I'm not saying that what Mike and them were talking about is like legit. I'm just wondering where did they get this idea? Because they seem like it was a done deal that Cambria is an enterprise device. But anyway, I was just kind of curious about that. But there are some issues with this because we are talking about pancake optics. All right. And pancake optics allow for these slim VR headsets that are incredibly slim and sleek, and they look really cool. And, you know, Apple is likely going to have pancake lenses for what they're doing as well. But pancake lenses, like one of the downsides of them is it really reduces brightness unless there's been like some kind of major advancement in pancake lenses recently. But normally they really dramatically reduce brightness. So you have to start off with a screen that is like overly dramatic bright because you're going to get this natural reduction. It's almost like Magic Leap, you know, darkens everything so that you can see the AR better. And so now you have to have like this super bright screen, which it affects battery life and it affects the thermals of like how you keep everything cool and everything. So I'm just wondering, like, it's going to have an XR2, I'm sure. We don't have anything really beyond XR2 at this point in time as far as Qualcomm's lifespan, like their calendar of what they're looking forward to. So it's going to have an XR2. So that should allow it to be fully backwards compatible. The controllers are super interesting in terms of not having that ring there at all. And I'm wondering if they're just going to like fly out of my hands, you know, because it seems like if you were really in something heated, like those controllers could almost just fly right out of your hands a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for like a new headset from Meta.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, what are your thoughts about the device?
I'm just a little bit concerned about those pancake lenses because they are for smaller form factor headsets. So what does that mean for field of view? I think really we can't go any lower than what we have right now with the Quest. I'm quite happy with the Quest's sort of field of view, but it needs, for this next generation, particularly if it's going to be a lot more money, it's got to be 120 degrees or more, really, I think. It's got to happen. Or even 115 degrees, but no less than what we have already. But with those pancake lenses, I can't see that happening. I might be wrong.
But I think you might be wrong.
Even with, well, I hope I am, because
no, he's not necessarily
in all seriousness, wrong. I am interested in this headset. I am definitely, I would buy this. I would. I'm interested in this headset, and I just need to know more information about it, really. But particularly if it's got a native display port, I know I go on about it, but if it's got some sort of capability to be able to do that,
I'm not going to have a display port. No.
Also,
but this is a high-end headset. Give it to us.
Yeah, it's a high-end headset, and it doesn't take much.
But it's not a high-end. It's not a headset that you want to connect to your computer. This does mixed reality. You put it on your head. Then you walk around in your room or somewhere else, and you're going to see your world, and then something in your world. You will for sure not connect this to your computer that you have at home. That ridiculous
I'll just put
block.
it in the bin then. No, that's it. No, you might not like. I might be very popular for saying this, but to be honest, what does this mean for the links? If, as a consumer, for me, I would probably wait for this over the links, and I know that I don't mean that because I want them to. I would root for them, but I know that Oculus have the best software, they have the best games, they have the best.
Yeah, they have just all the resources, of course.
How can you justify the links over something like this? Although we don't know much about it yet, but I think it will be good.
Well, it's only if they really deliver on their promise to disconnect it from Facebook account and not substitute it by something equally awful.
That's the big thing there, yeah. Which they said they're going to do. So,
yeah, but also sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, it's just does anybody find it kind of odd that they are like this project name, Project Cambria, sounds awfully familiar. Like similar to Cambridge Analytica.
Oh god! Yeah, there was somebody in chat that was
strange
like, "Yeah, this is designed specifically to mess up the Google searches."
Like turn your weakness into your strength.
But anyways, Gary just said it. The links might be cheaper with the $500. This might be more expensive, right? The device. Also, I think that because this Cambria comes out sometime next year, actually the Lynx has a new lease on life. Because right now, the hardware is ready and you can support them now on Kickstarter. And well, I have looked through it. They exactly do what they advertise they do. And well, it is from a company that values privacy, right? So I think the Lynx, they have a chance right now. Also, they can much faster iterate on their next version. So yes, Lynx 1 is going to come out, but then they will already be working on the Lynx 2. So I wouldn't write off Lynx. It's really like the David against Goliath. I do believe they have a chance. I really do believe they have a chance. They have a good product. And I think a community could sprawl around this device. And I think Lynx does have a new lease on life. If they would have come out with Cambria now, as you can pre-order it right now, and you're going to have it in your mailbox next week, then, of course, it would have been much tougher.
Can I ask Sebastian, the display in the Lynx, when you tested it last weekend, which I'm proper jealous I couldn't go.
That was fun.
Basically, like the VR, did you try the VR implementation?
What was
the resolution like? Because obviously it's quite low, isn't it? On paper, anyway.
Yeah, but it was still okay. It was somewhere, it was not exactly as good as the Quest 2, less than the Quest 2, but better than the Quest 1. So somewhere in between the Quest 1 and 2. Absolutely a good enough virtual reality experience, especially when you think about that you will see your real world in it, right? And then can put something into VR. Yes, so
the lens looked amazing that you did on the channel. Looked really nice.
So it really does look good. And again, optics are super important because these lenses are really cool and they are completely clear as well, right? So there's no Fresnel going on, there's no God grace going on. You have a clear view of the panel, and therefore you did have a good VR experience here. So yeah, looking forward to what they come up and what developers come up with it very soon, because they're going to have it in their hands very soon. But of course, it's going to be tough competition. The Cambria And of course, also then Apple, when they come out with their device next year, is probably also going to be the same, as in color pass-through, super high color pass-through, probably with one of those M1 Max Pro chips. That is going to be tough competition. Anyways, this is an exciting field, mixed reality. And in my opinion, this Cambria device will have much less of a gaming focus, right? This is probably the first device from Facebook that is not branded Oculus, but Meta. This is going to be the Meta, whatever it's going to be called, their new product line. And, well, in my opinion, it is compatible with Quest because it will be able to play all the Quest games. So all the enthusiasts who want to have the better tracking, who want to have the more comfortable head strap, they will be able to buy it for $700 or whatever. So, and that's why it's compatible. But, in my opinion, it's going to have a whole new category of new experiences that tap into this metaverse idea, which are mixed reality, which cannot be done by the Quest 2. And therefore, people who want it, who want to see the future, can buy this Meta Cambria device. And people who just want games and who don't give a friggin' shit about this mixed reality stuff, they can go for the Quest. It all makes sense. In my opinion, they're doing a smart thing.
But then if you don't have the Quest and you only have Cambria, can you still play those games, or do you actually need Quest? That's
No, you can
again
play-
the question
No,
about
no, just-
No,
it'll
you
be an
can-
compatible.
you can
Say
play
it's
all
Some
your-
sort of,
You can play all.
XR2.
I think you can play all the Quest games on the Cambria, but you cannot play all the Cambria content, the mixed reality stuff, on the Quest. That's what I believe right now.
Cambria is also going to have the eye tracking, the facial tracking, and possibly some kind of body tracking. I don't know. But
the leaks are correct.
if they have all of that, then it's like you got to have all these developers that are making stuff that actually takes advantage of all that. And then you're going to have this weird situation where people are on the Quest and it's like, no, bro, I'm on Cambria. That's why you're seeing me smile. You know?
Yeah, it could be. It could totally be like this. And I can just remember, like, probably you have read Snow Crash, and it's like a book about VR, like one of the books. And in one scene, they are going to a club in VR, and some of the avatars are in black and white because they don't have the latest device. Yeah, and you know what? I really believe it could be like something similar. Probably in Horizon, you're going to meet some avatars which do have like super facial expressions, like the real thing, and others have this normal
They'll
one.
have
that
the
we have
mouth
right now.
of Neo in the
Exactly.
Matrix when they
Yeah.
take his mouth away.
Exactly. And then, okay, this guy is in Cambria, and the other one, he's a poor dude. he's in the Quest too. I think, yes. It makes sense.
Another way to promote Cambria
Exactly.
within those worlds. Like, hey, I want to
Absolutely.
be like that.
I want to be like this. I don't want to be in black and white. all the avatars of the Quest will be in black and white, like in Snow Crash. Yeah, very interesting. Super, super exciting. Lots of exciting topics. We could even talk way longer, but I think at 2 hours and 45 minutes, it is time now to call it a day or a night, and let's finish up season 2, episode 13 of the Next Dimension podcast. Or do you have any last words for this episode? Probably any of you?
Yeah, no, just there's too much. There's too much to discuss. I feel like
Yeah.
there could be even more, but there's still those videos from the Connect event online. You can watch them, like make your own decisions about what you saw. I'm
Right.
talking about the people who are watching this podcast right now, because there's a lot of dreaming going on, and you can just go watch it and like just see how you feel about all of this, because there's a lot of mixed
Exactly.
feelings.
Exactly. Check it out yourself. Wow, what a beast of a show. And so great to have Anthony back. Ranthony's back. Hopefully you're going to be back also in the future. And yeah, you're obviously very welcome here. Perfect. And of course, all the others too, Tetiana and Steve. Super nice that you're here. And there was a fantastic show. We had constantly over 300 people watching, and that is really good. That is really good for a VR podcast. So thank you. Thanks to all of you who are watching live right now. If you enjoyed the show, why don't you destroy the thumbs up because I really believe this was a fantastic show. And also, don't forget to write a comment about this. We always read the comments after the show, and obviously, it's so nice to find out what you think about the show. So, if you have that minute or less, write a comment to us. Do also give us a 5-star review on your iDevice. Go to the podcast app, find the Next Dimension podcast. That would really, really help us. And other than that, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to see and hear you in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Wow. That was a great show, right? What do you think?
That's great.
And there's way more to talk. Like we could have done a show just on the name change and all the ramifications.
Of course, we could have, but yeah, we needed to at least like talk a bit about the other topics, right? Yeah, right. Wow.
So there are the links to our channels usually below in the description of the video. I think that maybe today's didn't have some of the channels, but they can be added later on.
Exactly. I'm going to add the names, the links to your channels down in the description of this video, and also in the audio podcast. I'm going to put everything there, and then you need to follow all of us, of course, Anthony, Tetiana, and Steve. And of course, this channel as well, if you have not subscribed to MRTV yet. Wow, really, amazing show. There's so much to talk about, and it's going to be so exciting to see how everything plays out, right? With Meta. Wow.
Oh, and congratulations on hitting 60,000, Sebastian.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I was in the last podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that was cool. And I was just in Paris, right, with Gary and Stan, and hit 60,000. It's
Perfect.
Great.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Cool. And Anthony, where's your mind at right now with the YouTube thingy? Are you going to keep pushing out videos on your own channel, or would you like to come on more often to this show? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know, because I have to figure something out really quick because it's the end of the month, and I keep like turning off my Patreon because I'm like not really doing videos. Okay. And so at the end of the month, I have to think, am I going to do some videos this month or not? So I was thinking about that, and the thing is like, I don't know, I'm kind of in this lazy mode where like, I don't want to do all the work of like, I'm sure Tetiana can understand me with this, but like getting all the trailers, the footage, all of that.
Lots of work.
And I'm thinking of just doing what I used to call shiz shows, is where I just kind of show up and wing it. Yeah. I just kind of show up and wing it. So I might do some of those shows and try to kind of get back into the mix a little bit more.
I'm a little bit jealous of Steve because his channel is just, it's such a perfect, niche. You know exactly what you're doing in the VR field. This is like oh my gosh, like this is the flight sims, and this headset is perfect. And you have this wonderful, audience that is watching you for that. I think I might be struggling a little bit with that because I'm interested in so many things VR that
it must be so hard. Actually.
It's the hardest thing to narrow it down because I feel like, okay, this week I'm going to do a little bit more news, but then there's also awesome games coming out that I don't have time to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on gameplays this week. But then there is some extra stuff to review for my channel, like VR accessories and headsets. It's really hard. And some content creators are doing a really good job at mixing all these different areas, while others just focus on one thing. And so far, I'm still undecided. Like I'm doing a little bit of everything that I find exciting, but maybe I will need to narrow down a little bit in the future just to keep up with everything. I don't know how you feel about that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
For me, it's I'll always keep this YouTube thing as a bit of a fun hobby, and I don't think I want to take it too seriously, but I don't know. It's like I want to make sure I get that right balance, and to enjoy VR for me, which I have done this last week. I've done no videos at all. Actually, I've already pre-recorded some videos and just enjoyed VR and flying for myself. And I think it's that for me invigorates my own passion for it. And but it must be so hard because VR is such a massive thing now that if I was doing more sort of game focused content, I wouldn't know where to start half the time because there's just so much going on.
Well,
So,
but
yeah.
that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason why I can't cover every single game, even if I know like what's going to
It
bring me
moves too
views or not.
fast. There's no way. Like it would be
Yeah.
Yeah.
impossible.
It's
Like
going
you'd go
crazy right
nuts.
now.
And also, I really want to do the games that I truly enjoy. And sometimes it's subjective. The game can be amazing in the production, in the graphics, in the gameplay, but sometimes it's just the genre that's not the genre I would enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it makes sense to be more selective with the content and give priority to things you truly like. You enjoy creating content for that. Because you don't
This is
want to
really
make it
good.
a job. You don't want to make it just an employment. It's still, we're all passionate about this. We need to keep that passion fired up.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good last word now for today's show, I think. So yeah, thanks all for watching this again, and hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. We could have talked on for another 2 hours without any problem. But I think 3 hours is okay now. So again, thanks for watching. Give the thumbs up. Do write a comment. Do write the reviews. Do all the good stuff. And we're looking forward to see you in the metaverse. I was kidding.
Don't say
Until
that.
then, until then, bye-bye.
Bye.